When your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cities, and then $1 to 12 cities. The next day, propaganda, the whole Ghana newspapers were cut off. I don't insult. I tell the truth. You said all these things, and I'm drawing the attention of the delegates. Say NDC is going to use all these things against us. What I said, the man spoke well about the economy of the country. He gave 170 questions to Vice President Emisata to answer. And then they also have Vice President President Tedia. Yentimi and Kanya Waka. Also, you have the inflation and the lock and key. Is that what is going on from 11% to 47%? Is it an insult or the truth? I am drawing the attention of delegates. So these things are going to be used against Dr. Bawumia. What you say? It's not an insult. It's the gospel truth. Bawumia, you know, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cities, and then $1 to 12 cities. The next day, propaganda, the whole Ghana newspapers were cut off. I don't insult. I tell the truth. You said all these things, and I'm drawing the attention of the delegates. Say NDC is going to use all these things against us. What I said, the man spoke well about the economy of the country. He gave 170 questions to Vice President Emisata to answer. And then they also have Vice President President Tedia. Yentimi and Kanya Waka. Also, you have the inflation and the lock and key. Is that what is going on from 11% to 47%? Is it an insult or the truth? I am drawing the attention of delegates. So these things are going to be used against Dr. Bawumia. What you say? It's not an insult. It's the gospel truth.
All right. For Mema Munina Aquaba Nameka was a so called Facebook. We are live on Freemind Family News, so called YouTube Unsua. We are live on Freemind Family. Abusha message on your baswano. Bomode na share na like Sanabia Jumedi Ebitimi Aquanim. We are also live on Air Loud Silence TV on Multi TV. More motion on Air Loud Silence TV now, so me church will be Midamu na say. Bawumia kasa. Ana Dabeno kasa you know mon kan share me nko na masa me need time biasa Dabeno Bawumia kasa mon kan share me nto aso mon kan share me nko o kasa da ben Bawumia nye ni pa sabi u senka Ghana for krabo di nyansa o say yetie Bawumia. What you say? The mere fact is say enempo yete ha ye discuss Bawumia no kire say Ghana for dollar no menua ya dwumo ha e ba manyo semu ya dwemu no ha. Because in Ghana for be bring any nyansa. Bawumia should not be somebody and call say you wasting your time on creating social media and discussing. And I say mainstream media and discussing. Because there is every indication. Bibia chire, bibia di adance say Bawumia bon. Bawumia on table Bawumia di nyansa. Mo di Ghana she Bawumia sa Ghana be say. Bibia di adance bibia chire. The sabi you may say. Senka Ghana for do na ni nyansa. We should not be here discussing Bawumia. Oh yeah. When is it no kasa no when Kwame family that it's there. When you be and cause here can you want some crap. Bawumia. You ever we shall see. This was the first thing Bawumia said. Now, mind you, Bawumia kasa for bed 2 good hours. Program na kasa no shall see I think say run for bed 3 hours, but the time about Bawumia the kasa was about 2 good hours, Now, near the kind of Ghana for Nanti say Bawumia said nothing. John Dramani Mahama Yusu only about 2 minutes at the 24-hour economy. And Bawumia spending 2 good hours at the church room. Bawumia was only elaborating the policy of John Dramani Mahama. Bawumia was only throwing more light on the policy of John Dramani Mahama. 2 good hours presentation. Bawumia couldn't make sense. Empo in cheche muna na o cheche mukrabo 2 good hours so Bawumia couldn't make any sense. wanti boy wanka hwanche Ghana for be bia di ho about me kan ya menua it make sense in that presentation. He said nothing. Practically no Bawumia said nothing. Wanka hwanche mo Bawumia said nothing. Yeah, just say solution bia ni ho about me de ma Ghana for. Everything Bawumia said will never ever address your issues on the grounds. Muntia sesa. Now, when Asemwa edi kanya Bawumia di tudra yenti na yen break things down na Ghana for na munya entiasie. Listen.
I will first talk about the record of our government and my contribution as vice president before I lay out my vision. So I ask for your patience. I will first talk about the record of our government and my contribution as vice president before I lay out my vision.
Thank you.
So I ask for your patience.
Once ahano Bawumia shasi a okasa no. Okase, I will first talk about the records of our government. T. Bawumia kase, I will first talk about the records of Akufo-Addo's government. There be where you brought from Montias. The first point about me make here or Chemu say, I will first talk about the records of our government. T. Me cheu bibiase. Bawumia Chemu say, he will first talk about the records of their government. Meaning say, Akufo-Addo aban no, Bawumia no, wajia tumu se oka ho. Inti record bia bibi kitwa bia omatimia ye bia ene Bawumia ajafa. It is about me to me chemu say Akufo-Addo government no oka ho dia. Na se oji every achievement bia fa dia ene ye ba Bawumia ti ase say failure no so onfanka ho. Because if you are telling us say bibi kitwa bi na Akufo-Addo etimi aye no oji afa say sa de no so ka on so record ho dia ene Bawumia must learn to take responsibility of every failure as well. Etini chese Bawumia shasi a okasa no odi kan magana fo nyati ase se Akufo-Addo failure any failure se Akufo-Addo nso ye bibia eso Ghana fo ani a eno so ojiafa. You go say the records of our government etimu aya moka se an and Bawumia de eno onka ho bi na Bawumia de he is only a mate no ti ase se empo se Ghana e car. Na se Akufo-Addo a driver. Na se Bawumia kwa pe mate no o yusu na ho odin na dwene nyansa de boa driver ni no. Na in return no driver ni no so ache mate ni kaka. Ti ase sao. Sempo ye jatu mu se Bawumia kwa pe Bawumia no mate no o yusu na dwene na ho odin ni nyansa nimde e de boa driver ni no. In return, no driver ni no so de achire Bawumia kaka. Eti Akufo-Addo na achire Bawumia kaka ka ne government ka ne Ghana. And Akufo-Addo achire Bawumia kaka. Enu nti na ene Bawumia operate license. Say Akufo-Addo driver ni no or retire wasua ka free Akufo-Addo ho. Eti moma the license na ono so onfa entry card nto aso. Baby Akufo-Addo ka no koduru ye no ono so no ohia license moma the kwan na onka ka no nto aso because ne boss Akufo-Addo de ache ne kaka. It every idea be about Bawumia de bebia no is the idea of Akufo-Addo because me say Bawumia na kasa dia to mu say Akufo-Addo na eche de ka. Of course, mate ni osua ka free driver ni ho. Na se mate ni so na se driver ni so ba che mate ni ka e be gina mate ni no na ho brase any odo a ode be ye adwuma no any moa mate ni no e de be boa driver ni no eti Bawumia se wa bra ne ho ase under Akufo-Addo ama Akufo-Addo ache de car kan ti say no Ghana for mo ma the license na de say mo to abadiama no na baby and the boss Akufo-Addo twi car ne koduru ye ono so ombra na onto aso free ho. This is the message about Bawumia de ma Ghana for nyina. So that's the first message. Ghana for nyina tia say Bawumia e ma moti ase say he is part of the government and he has been part of the government for the past almost 8 years ini. Oni Akufo-Addo na ehye every failure, every achievement be on one idea, because for the past 7 years, he has been the chairman of the economic management team. It is a Ghana ko year. Se Ghana ko year e was say ye de Bawumia, because ne Bawumia dia to mu say e ye na ban or ne Akufo-Addo aban. Ti every achievement bia, toilet bia omusi ye bia ene dia. The same way every failure and so should be the failure of Bawumia. Eti mu amuti social media e say ai e na Bawumia no onye mampani e na Bawumia no onye president ti no e ma ye mfa Akufo-Addo failure ense Bawumia kum ene me ka kire mu say mon ka kire Bawumia say sa ade a ene every achievement of Akufo-Addo so ene dia on stay away, because if you can't take the failure, then why must you be allowed to take the good things that the man has done? We ye nyansa, we ni ade Ghana fo nyanti ase. All right, enti yen to aso free her. Second point, Bawumia emeki ye no enie yentie Bawumia yenko.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we assumed office in 2017, we were confronted with an economy with declining economic growth, along with several problems and challenges. A graphic description of the state of the economy at the time was provided by the former president and my main opponent for the 2024 presidential election, who announced to the nation that the meat was finished and the economy was left with bones. Notwithstanding the difficult economy we inherited, we had to get on with it and start to fix the problems. We started with a clear, decisive, and deliberate program to, among other things, stabilize the economy, fix DUMSO, fix the National Health Insurance Scheme, fix the roads, clear the arrears, make education free and accessible, significantly enhance social protection for the vulnerable in society, industrialize our economy, tackle youth unemployment, and empower farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, when we assumed office in 2017, we were confronted with an economy with declining economic growth, along with several problems and challenges.
All right. Ahaniana Bawumia Pacha say economy John Dramani Mahama NDC aban handi over edima onne Akufo-Addo no economy no na enye. Or say they inherited an ailing economy, a bogus economy. Economy a say, economy a atitia pansam, economy a sikabia ni ho, economy a com economy, economy a sebi na yari enam no ari dompeno na say that was almost a complete disastrous economy. Ena one Akufo-Addo John Dramani Mahama handi over. Edima owo. Mamini kan mimi sa we crampon a logic and common sense. Sen kana John Dramani Mahama economy nya. Eye den a John Dramani Mahama economy na enye no. Bank of Ghana aboka enya mfaso. Na Bawumia ene Akufo-Addo economy na eye no. Bank of Ghana aboka edi ntia. Bisa ho sa. Number 2, John Dramani Mahama economy na enyen eye den asambre no na eye $1 to 4 Ghana cedis na under Bawumia economy na eye no sebi you eye $1 to 13 Ghana cedis edi abisa ho sa enti ena John Dramani Mahama economy na enyen no otimisi airport to ko mako be 5 na under Bawumia economy na ekoye economy na eye no omuntimi si empo airport ba kompo airport a omu na ese omu ye ina no John Dramani Mahama emreso na ehya ase edi ntia bisa ho se na John Dramani Mahama economy ana enye. Bisia Mahama ebo ye was only $4 billion epe. Now so under Bawumia ene Ekufuado economy a eko ye, economy a etiapo, economy a eye, besia omuabo eye over $84 billion American dollars. Edienti abisa hosa. Edienti na Bawumia chese they inherited an alien economy. Now so samre no sabi you Bank of Ghana Famoka. In fact, omunya mfaso di bisi the bank hospital. Now so under economy Bawumia nye Kufuado economy a omu na SCS eko ye no Bank of Ghana boka over $60 billion edientia. Afi Bawumia say economy na John Dramani Mahama ejama omu na enko ye. Yentie John Dramani Mahama na nkasa na no mu asem na yemfem free ho. Muntie semu a John Dramani Mahama kafa ho muntie.
Mahama left a mess. We came and repaired your mess. Before I left office, the IMF said that Ghana's economy was going to grow by 8%. And it grew by 8% and more in 2017. And in 2018, it dropped. When their own policies started kicking in, you look at the GDP growth rate. From the high of 8% that they inherited from me, the next year it went to 6 point something, 5 point something, until when COVID hit, it went to 0. So that myth about you left us a mess, you left us a mess. When you came into office, the Kufuor Eurobond was left with 270 million to pay. Where did you get that money to pay? Mahama left it in the sinking fund because I knew that debt was coming up. That was visionary because I knew that if a new government came, it was going to be difficult to find 270 million at once to pay off the Kufuor Eurobond. So we left it in the sinking fund. They came and met it. In October, they just took it and paid the Eurobond. And after that, they didn't put any money in the sinking fund again. That's why when COVID hit, we had no money to defend ourselves. I set up the stabilization fund. When COVID hit, they didn't know where to find money. We told them, go and look in the stabilization fund. I left money in there. Went and took 300 million, from the stabilization fund. I set up the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund. The Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. And I put $270 million seed money in that fund. Today, that's what you are using to build your Agenda 111 hospitals. So how can I have left you a mess? They are good at propaganda. And so they just keep repeating something. Oh, we came and met your mess. We came and met your mess. In 2016, for the first time in Ghana's history, we ran the government budget without taking one CD from the Bank of Ghana. Zero borrowing from Central Bank. You in 2021, 42 billion, you made Central Bank print for you. The following year, 2022, 35 billion, you made Central Bank print for you. And that is why today, Central Bank is broke. Because it made a loss of more than 60 billion cedis. When I was president, Central Bank made a profit of more than 1 billion cedis. And so that propaganda must stop once and for all. You didn't inherit a mess.
Yes. John Dramani Mahama enumwasebudi. John Dramani Mahama na Bawumia chese ni economy na enkoyi na enye no. Oni Ekufuado, they inherited a bogus and alien economy ni hwan no. Ti ase say Kufuor besia obo ye Eurobond John Dramani Mahama economy na Bawumia se na enye no. John Dramani Mahama bogus economy no na etriaka. Tie ni ameka chodi. Under John Dramani Mahama economy na enye inflation was a single digit. Under Bawumia a double digit. Tie ni ameka choni. Under John Dramani Mahama economy na enye besia Mahama boy was only $4 billion pe. Under Bawumia economy ekoye almighty economy besia Ghana abanyabo. Eka Ghana by the be 84 billion American dollars. Difference of over 80 billion. Listen to me carefully. John Dramani Mahama mreso economy Bawumia na SCS na enkoye sambre no unemployment rate no was less than 15%. Unemployment rate under Bawumia unemployment over 40%. But our child say omo economy ni die ekoye che John Dramani Mahama breso. Under John Dramani TM say economy na enkoye dollar to cedi no was $1 to 4 Ghana cedis. Under Bawumia economy ekoye $1 to 13 Ghana cedis. Minya shine weni na bie weni. Under John Dramani Mahama be say economy na enkoye. Economy ani esi enkoye. John Dramani Mahama Jessica Bawumia mabai. Sinking fund. John Dramani Mahama jabe $300 million. Enu bi na time a COVID baye, omo femu 1.2 billion and they saw COVID ano. John Dramani Mahama hene chire Kufuor say mi Jessica bi wa ha COVID aba kofa. Na fa so ano se ne be ya Ghana fo ewu nkwase ewu enti ene yepe eye mampania osi COVID ano a John Dramani Mahama ye pa banya solve COVID John Dramani Mahama ban NDC aban stabilization fund John Dramani Mahama o Jessica wom sinking fund ne ho ahwa nyina no John Dramani Mahama Jessica de Magana aban Bawumia mo they came to inherit money economy Bawumia che wo se na enye enkoye no they came to inherit money ene yemisa Bawumia ene Kufuor say sika sen na omudija abanya eba anya hwe krampo no John Dramani Mahama etimi ja won sika anya bibia mpo no John Dramani Mahama etimi peska de guho di ja omo ene yemisa Kufuor ene Bawumia say sika ben na mudija abanya eba eye ka na mudija omo anase sika ena mudija omo because in this case maboka over $84 billion are train the next government Ghana for inanim say Mahama aban iti Mahama na oja won sika no Mahama esaba no enkofie di Mahama skana sa broka say Mahama ebra betua ene dumso ho asem a ye kan they are playing around dumso because omunim say they can't solve it omo ya they are trying Mahama na sebi omra men kwase aduma na se wi a ya satra social media asa di Mahama atem asa president NPP aban asa kire se dumso no crampo no eye Kufuor mo de solve dumso omo di bibi atwema because omo nim say they can solve it etini ebesi bia no ye de try Mahama jimia ekoso ina no ye de try Mahama say Mahama mra na on solve it because Mahama nko na all sa adwen no Mahama nko na all sa blueprint no only Mahama can do the job. Ye bi so bo say mo na mo sie say you guys inherit economy na enye eye den na John Dramani Mahama eja butika onye ska ne free hin e da di jamo Yantiasie say John Dramani Mahama economy na enye so you guys inherited economy na enye ye bi so mo say eye den na economy na enye no John Mahama enye ska di bi to ho jamo I remember this kind of nama and the Ghana for Brana Yebre. These guys are me say Bawumia has no wisdom. Eba membo mu nyansa. Eba nyansa ni nimdie sa yemfemu manya. Me say Bawumia when he be nya make muntie Bawumia ni bi. It before he came to talk. Me tra ha etre mu say Bawumia has nothing to say. Ni esi na o bando be kasa na Bawumia do be na me tre mu say Bawumia has nothing to say. Entiane se Bawumia chemu say onye Kufuor no they inherited economy na enya Bawumia boa the records are there for you to check say anya hwe krabo no economy na enya eye den na $1 be ye 4 cedis na andamo de na eye andamo de na ekoye no $1 13 cedis we you can only say this to the fool, you can only say this to the tribal bigots. Ghana for enemy, Ghana for tribalism, aji adwin aboso pe e na betimi aka sa bo asem we di a kire omo ama sebi oma jedi na so Ghana ni bia di ho anadwe ye adwuma Bawumia be just simple so a kire say John Dramani Mahama economy na enye asebi obeje Bawumia die je se wadwe enye adwuma ko ye na obi anim no kre no say John Dramani Ghana economy under John Dramani Mahama o kasa mo entia na say they never ever borrowed from Bank of Ghana and until na Bank of Ghana nyamfa so EDBC the bank hospital no and Bawumia omo printing money at the Bank of Ghana ma bank no krampa boka musa ye demo ti a bank ne say bank no emra bonten kire kwan kire fa so e boka omo saka kire musa mo ye hooligans mo ye kwasiafo na mo nkofie nko na ene sa ban we ene Bawumia wonya podium platform catch them say John Dramani Mahama economy a odija omo no wasn't the best na se moje Bawumia dia me say na madwemu na ha mo santie we. This is what John Dramani Mahama said. Why? Before we continue, Mumra. Adenya say, John Dramani Mahama economy na odija ye no na enkoyi oboa muntie nya Mahama kan muntie
sinking fund media sika ho because na minim say omampanyin kofo ni Eurobond oje no na October of 2017 na osi etua and I'm say entwa ye say ebedru ho na sika ni ho a ebetua ebeptimi ha economy no enti media sika ho mu enti akofado aban ba ye abrasa debt no by enom francis sika no dituaka Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund made $270 million and can be used as a vehicle for attracting investment into infrastructure. And then a distributor says Sikano. A bin or Yama Nakonta Omodisi Pullman Hotel. A Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund Sikana Mija or Hono. Stabilization Fund Mija $300 million. It was stabilization fund. Senebeya a torrential BCA. And I said BBC I be shock economy no. Yen kase afi ni ekwohwe sika da ho a ebetimi.
So here stabilization fund alone John Dramani Mahama ejabe $300 million. Enti enempo ye ka abanya enya Mahama so faso a eyekufa do ne Bawumia ban. Oh yeah, because John Dramani Mahama shede jawo sika ema empo eye besi akofo boy ye. Besi akofo boy ye. Eurobond John Dramani Mahama and a Jess can say young friend Foka. How can the same person come out and tell you say we inherited a very bad economy? Oh boy, until that. You see, Bawumia is a liar. Bawumia is a liar. Bawumia can look at you in the face and lie without feeling any remorse. Unfound because Bawumia is used to lie. Well, can't trust her the whole life. It's a bad trap Bawumia is used to. Bawumia is a bloody liar. Ye ka sika Mahama di jankofu ya masa unyini na Mahama abobo so no $300 million stabilization fund nko a enu bi na covid ba ya ye de yensa bo mu a ye de si covid ano enya Mahama you guys should have died enya Mahama ka the way a covid si be sia ku Ghana fo no ka me say ka Ghanaians should have died like sabi enkoko and so Mahama ni da ye so nti Mahama dwe da chinti o Jessica say atorenche bi to Ghana man na ekufo ado ne Bawumia ban mo mfa na mo fan solve because oye nipa bi a o dwe da chin sanya na Mahama kan opanka saska no ko betumi afa dia baby onso ba go and look for your money now so Mahama nwe ne say Mahama dwe da chin say basa whether NPP or NDC at the same Ghana it me kwa ma menya ska bi say na be ya omba kofo besie ye obo ye yaso mo mfa bi nkotuaka o mpe we na opeden pesa mampani we now peden ka moto na ope pe we now peden and so Bawumia has the audacity to make that simple so e say try to say hi ye ba ye no Mahama enye hwe oboa
So aswano into coronavirus by $300 million and the no ho enom ko yi 1.2 billion at the so coronavirus ano enti e was say we visionary enye enenko ena wohwe enim if you say sa man na edru baby a omo edru no omo ehwe dachi ena omo de ye omo bibia enti me ye president no sa sika me ka chewe na anka me ntimi de aye nyoma aban foforo ba mo de mo so mo kope mo de so me hwe dachi nti me de san nyoma no tutu ye and so we need visionary leaders and I think that I've been visionary until you say nyame na si hune nipa beto aba but nyame no hu so sefata say odi o man no ho em so no abeyi na man.
That's right. It Jack Montias say Bawumia de or a criminal. Bawumia is a bloody liar. Yemfa 11 BM.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we assumed office in 2017, we were confronted with an economy with declining economic growth, along with several problems and challenges. A graphic description of the state of the economy at the time was provided by the former president and my main opponent for the 2024 presidential election, who announced to the nation that the meat was finished and the economy was left with bones.
Oh boy, Jandam. So as Mahama Kaya, he was talking about conformer buying a jandam. Now Mahama chese a cromphone within government, you know, I finish Ghana. Obwa, nya okay jandam. Uni wa go research obwa. Nya okay jandam. Mahama nka say oni mo sedi Ghana first kama bibiasa obwa na o chire say economy ya ombeto ye no na ya no o discarding na wi. And of course, Kufo ja Mahama ka. Na so Mahama nya Ekufuado ka. Eka se na Mahama DJ Ekufuado. O peska krabo sa di gu ho. Na so na Ekufuado ba ye. O mo topi Mahama ka no with 80 billion. As a John Dramani Mahama Saba, a kana a channel. Into we are okay na a jandam. Now say yantra social media unpromptiwa uhu. Obeka dia brim wani so. Obeka dia confuse you, but ya okay na a jandam oboa. John Dramani Mahama e just uncle fisika. So how can they come out and tell you say you economy at John Dramani Mahama Edija Wono was a bad economy? Oboa. Tie me se dia oboa ma cheche mu dia kirewo. Opa fa ompejai.
Notwithstanding the difficult economy we inherited, we had to get on with it and start to fix the problems. We started with a clear, decisive, and deliberate program to, among other things, stabilize the economy, fix doomsaw.
Economy ben na Bawumia mo etimi stabilize. What beji economy ana eye $1 to 4 cedis. Na so masu de free $1 to 4 cedis e could do $1 to 17 cedis. How can you say you have stabilized the economy? And now you can stabilize Bawumia antiasiana. There view economy a emra Mahama de share munsa. Na besia Mahama abo eye 4 billion pe mo ba ye mabo besia over 84 billion. Ye can stability about Bawumia otiasie. There you. Time of Mahama eja Ghana de share munsa. Na inflation rate a single digit and na inflation a double digit. It fix in bed or fix it ye. Or for him fix it ye. Or fix it in the same. Ye bisano. Set time of Mahama at the Ghana economy. Unemployment rating was less than 15% and the number 40%. In the economy no almost stabilize the same. A quite beso. Then again, or can doomso wasem. They say Bawumia e making mention of doomso. Bisa Bawumia say no problem. Mon share a quite beso na mo fa ya mo solve doomso. Because unless I make sure say John Dramani Mahama the solve doomso. Me sure say a quite way so na Mahama fa ya or solve doomso. It is about me say or mo the solve doomso. Me say bisa me say a quite beso na mo fa ya mo solve doomso. And the doomso is about because foundation na Mahama air building yan chain e nyabo threat. And yet na social media 18 kwasiafo ne to the tia Mahama and the doomso no yaba but they are quiet. Omo try say John Dramani Mahama en samra on yusu na dwen ni nyansa en sobi doomso biem. Na se dachi en kwasiafo bi asat na ketia asat kire say ai doomso no crampo no enye Mahama na ye na embom eye Kufuado aban na sobi doomso. Inti abribia no John Dramani Mahama de osobi Ghana problem na so ye wia ye mfa na ase ma Mahama. Abribia no John Dramani Mahama eye nkwase adwuma na so ye wia ye mfa ani di a sebi esefata eba John Dramani Mahama. Ye bisa Bawumia say doomso no odi e kire Ghana for e kwan be so na ofa ya osobi doomso. We nya ntokwa bi asem we nya atemi. Me kire wo say John Mahama ekra pa badges. Emma empo your friend say or say che mensa bonsu e kire mo say time wadum so ba ye na John Dramani Mahama ne ho pre no say obesolve dum so enuti na okra pa badges e ba Ghana e de solve dum so na se mo say mo na mo solve ya bisa ne say e kwan be so na mo fa ya mo solve ye. They can tell you because they have no idea. These guys may say Bawumia is a madman. Bawumia is a madman. Okasa wi enkwasa be body to kuno. Bawumia doesn't deserve to live. Okasa wi no me say ko say bo body to kuno in cold blood. He doesn't deserve to live or a criminal. Ni awoka nyina ye ntro. Economy a John Dramani Mahama edi jabo. Bank of Ghana e make profit at Timu BDC hospital e ma Ghana for nyina 65 bed ultra modern hospital. Mobile mumbre so Bank of Ghana aboka over 60 billion. And you are telling us say economy na Mahama de ma mono mama na ye stable. E kwan be so na mo fa ya economy ni ye stable. Ye bisa no. Say e kwan be so na mo fa ya economy amaji amasen ene amna keka mo to e be $500 million. How can you come and tell the Ghanaians say you guys have been able to stabilize the economy? Now obra amnanko amoto nkoano nebo eye over $500 million. Obra ekufuado V8 transporting akonya nkoa every year bia ye show. How much money Ghana for tua ho can you not believe it? V8 ye tam na konya na ye sim na e de nam Ghana fana ba bia. Ekufuado to kwanya o tua 14,000 euros per hour ne jet nkoa. How can you tell us say you guys have been able to make the economy stable? How can you say this to the wise Ghanaian? There's a Ghana for a betie ba obiano. Ghana for o majiwo form. Ghana for betie ba omia ye Ghana for o me tribal. Ghana ni bia ni wa me say wadwen ye adwuma. You listen to Bawumia because clearly no Bawumia doesn't even understand the meaning of stability. Say ya ma economy be aye stable Bawumia ntiasie. Until he just picked the words na okani keke ontiasie and some na oka onu ankasa ontiasie. He has no clue. Ontiasie, he doesn't understand what he is saying. Say, economy a Mahama de share munsa masendo. Oh, che Mahama say, you guys have made it stable. So, does he even understand the meaning of stable? You can't stability about me. Does he understand? Can he comprehend? The answer is no. It may say mo tu about the Bawumia. Mo ye muhu. That be as we can't. Mean I cancel that. You guys are disturbing your own future. You are putting your future in the hands of a blind man to lead you because obviously this guy cannot see far. This guy cannot think. Neither can he see into the future. And until he is using words anyhow. Words now will use some grammar on tiasie. How can you say John Dramani Mahama na or running less than just say the ministers, they were less than 80. But under Bawumia they could find 120, 40 more plus. Now so must say Ghana. Ama a whole central bank aboka. Oh, catch Mahama say. Economy na Mahama de ma mono na enye. Na mo de mo ba ye. Mama economy no aye stable. Ye misa Bawumia say e kwan be so na Ghana economy no fa aye stable. He can say it. Rubbish.
Fix the national health insurance scheme, fix the roads, clear the arrears, make education free and accessible, significant.
National health insurance, Bawumia buy it had no problem. National health insurance, no Bawumia buy it had no problem. So there was nothing to fix there. TSSR said national health insurance, no Bawumia buy it had no problem. So there was nothing to fix there. Number 2, eba akwane sa nyuma na Bawumia nkyere Ghana for ekwan ya omaye. Se Mahama kasa otumi kyere. Se me na meye ebia for example, be kwan me na meye circle Dubai. Me na meye dodo wa kwan na meye we Mahama timi bodi kyere se ntimo nko na mo check na mo verify. Now so kofu kasa ya kwan bebre. But they can't tell you ekwan de he na omo aye. Yemfa omo kwan no compare John Dramani Mahama de. You see, that's the difference between Sound Kofu and Mahama. Mahama kasa, ultimate baby, oh yes, I deal with. Say, Messi, Sadia, we are. Go here and go and check. Messi Rich, Ayasabia, go to Rich and go and see for yourself. Say, my way, Messi way, my say, Mahama to make sure baby, as Sadia no. That's about me with the Yakasa. Ya, crime baby. And yes, Ayasabi baby. And I'm baby. And they can't name where those things are. These are ghost projects. What have they been able to do? Almost 8 years in it. Almost trouble. What have they been able to do if not toilets? Ye kasabi na toilet and a tiafina yane. What have they been able to do? The answer is zero. Nothing. For the past 8 years now, Bawumia ni Ekufuado, they have taken Ghana back for about 30 years. Baby Mahama de Ghana kodru ye no kofi ba ye no. Almost had the Ghana sako na chibe 30-40 years. They have done nothing. by na esan say or kire mu say ono na odi Akufo-Addo mate e na midi kana me kire wo say ti ase say mate ni no o yusu na ho ode ni nyansa ni nim de boa driver ni no in return no na driver ni no nso a kire mate ni kaka nti ne Bawumia kire mu say Ghana na eye car na all prese obeka no eye Akufo-Addo na e kire ne kaka eti yanhwe Akufo-Addo no ankasa ne drive no say na esitie aka mpese sabi o ya fa ni pa ono training no we dwen kwa chiri we nyansa sabi na mene mo ka no say Akufo-Addo pemu na ankasa ne kaka no say na esitie na ka mpese ni mate ya ma ni mate asabi di so se mo ma Akufo-Addo mate ebedi Ghana nim eka Ghana car na this guy will drive us into a serious accident and nobody will survive. The kind of car when share Ghana for na benya no me say there'll be no survivor because or no driver ni pay mu na kasa cramp no car no send I will see our car no na campus any mate driver ni no put him na car no poka na campus any mate aba be di so it monti as say Bawumia is an incompetent buffoon. Say mo the Ghana share Bawumia sa Bawumia will drive Ghana into a ditch. Bawumia will drive Ghana into chaos. Bawumia will drive Ghana into economic disaster of the highest magnitude. We say or pray Ghana kunya. SMOA.
Secondly, enhance social protection for the vulnerable in society, industrialize our economy, tackle youth employment, unemployment, and
industrialize our economy. And untina omo chira will say omo bay. One district, one factory. On by so one district, one factory. No be about me. I say where are they? Yentimi hu media mi hu ebi ana mani nye chira me baby ewo na me nkwohwe. O de chira me baby a factories no wo na me nsuma me nkofo a ewo Ghana say Kwame go and check for me and make a video and send to me. Chira me industries no chira me. Because say industrializer, it means that you have built more factories, industries, more industries, in the war me de me hui. Millicent, the war men kwa de me hui. Moncha baby, moncha me na me pocket. Chira me na me nko na me check say empo me ni Ghana mpo metimi asoma ama me boys na ko check etwa ho video ya send me. Moncha me, where are those industries? Tell me and show me. E wan fa. Me say 2024 about one. Enya about kasa is about the reality on the ground. That's a toilet factory. The toilet factory. It's about the reality on the ground. It's about mubotom no sign is it here. It's about economy no sign. You guys are feeling the economy in your pockets, in your bank accounts. Enya by lectures so. Enya by kasa na me na buy ni esi we there be. The question is, ni awo kasa wesi ni chire yen baby ewo. They can't tell you, they can't show you. Or we see Foko. It's all kind industries. Or see Foko now we see she. And they are again talking about youth unemployment. Time when I joined Dramani Mahama every Ghana konyaso. Now youth unemployment, was less than 15%. Go and do your own background checks. Time when I joined Dramani Mahama, every Ghana konyaso, now youth unemployment was less than 15%. Yemisa Bawumia say ombai and in over 40%. And he's here telling you say, you buy you're creating you're youth unemployment number 4. Oh boy, until that this guy is lying to Ghanaians because whom we say Jimmy Moon just say more brain kwachire. Intino obetimi ne Akufo-Addo ayusu enfie woche e dia say Ghana no ria wasa ba be gina ho aka kire mu say oh no he's the best person for the job. It is about the Ghana shedding sa obetimi ebuvi Ghana from baby a omudi aduro no to a much better place. Obua onte da jandam entro he can't. Take it from me. Me say he can't. Ya make unti. Me say he can't. Afe yentie the next one. Listen. Bawumia ntimi
between 2017 and 2019, all the key economic indicators, such as economic growth, agricultural growth, industry growth, interest rates, the fiscal deficit, exchange rate depreciation, and the trade balance, were all moving in the right direction.
Right direction in the here. Also, Makache will say these are figures. About figures are anybody at all can cook up any figure that they want. We are okay. Wama mu figure biawo. Ni awa can say yeba yeno ena fiscal deficit and high inflation rate ni nano we perform better. Better in what terms? Ochamu data bi. Ochamu eye figure bi wan chamu she. But yema Ghana frontiers here. Mo amoto nyadwa odwom, mo amoto banchemore, mo amoto nkrumania de montias here say figure no mubotom ne wo. The raw figure no, the raw data na all ka ho asem no, it is in your pockets. Say uti jomua, say Ghana economy no ekoya unim unhia Bawumia lecture. Unhia Bawumia figure. Because Bawumia data na all ka ho asem no doesn't reflect in your pockets. Enti say Ghana economy ekoya be say you don't need any figure from Bawumia ekoya mu na muni enkoye nso amuni. Time wa Bawumia ne Akufo-Addo baye na calipo 1 cedi 20 pesos and a calipo 6 cedis. Enti no amount of figure bia ni wa ebetimi avindicate Bawumia. Say Ghana economy ko ya. Say ko ya, you guys know, you guys are aware. You don't need any figure from Bawumia because the figure is already in your pocket. The figure is there for you to see. Say figure ne say Bank of Ghana aboka over 60 billion. Figure ne say and the inflation bibia boy day. These are the figures on the grounds I will hear Bawumia figure. Inti Emma Bawumia, hey, not simple so now that will say, I am no all the economic indicators and how they are performing well or boa until that this is jandam, me so boa. The figures are in your pockets, the figures are in your businesses, the figures are in your bank accounts, the figures can be seen in your day-to-day life, in your 24 hours, you know. The figures can be seen. More businesses are more here. The figures can be seen from there. In your businesses, in your jobs, in whatever you do, you can see the figures there. Say Ghana economy ekoya munim enkoye nso abo ya we. Believe you me? It me say Bawumia has no message. And Sembia Bawumia Bekebia is nothing but make believe jandam because why desperate? Omuni mu say 8 years in Ghana for the man almost say no. What have they done for the past 8 years? So they will catch me say, Elizabeth, what have they done for the past 8 years? Now, so is some chrono, any Jiminti, they want to still remain in power. So the only thing they are left with, they say, Yenko, na yen chantron Ghana for. Yenko nye dada Ghana for because Ghana for the sebi you be brinano, tribalism unti. Anything you say, they listen to you. Na sabi Ghana for be numua. Oma jumo ha ento abamfama womo. Now so and America che when they say. And somewhere about America nano, he has nothing to show. One show data be and one for him so anchemo. And then with me kind. What did you see? Oba and somehow kind is nothing new. And then with me kind. We know, say, what fairly. What did he say? Nothing. Practically nothing. Also, Atronia Azani Jandamunti, Yen Chantron Ghana for, Yen Nada Ghana for. Ghana for be no more sebi me say o ma dream of form o mo nto aba mfama yen but me moati ase say wo to aba de ma Bawumia wato aba sebi kwasiampani a onim nyansa bia wato aba de ama ni frani a obe drive Ghana into a ditch wato aba e de ama sebi kwasiampani a ontia mebuase and this is the reality here. Yanko to the next one. Most of them. I think this one is next. Between
2020 and 2022, we experienced and no access to international capital markets. Ladies and gross international reserves and jobs. The performance of all these key indicators is better under our government than that of the 2013 to 2016 period, when there was no global crisis.
Once almost as a global crisis. Russia-Ukraine war, Israel-Gaza war, COVID-19, anyone global crisis. Mameka Winchero. Russia currently, apart from North Korea, Russia is the most sanctioned nation on earth as at now. Listen to me carefully. say NPP Bawumia mo omo use Russia Ukraine war e dey pray draw say Russia Ukraine war nti ni abon Russia Ukraine war nti na yentimi am performing and a memu ati ase say as we speak now Ghana is not under any sanctions because Ghana is in bed with the West. Ghana is in bed with the Western world. Ghana is in bed with the Americans and the British and what have you. In the asset now, no, Ghana is not under any sanction. Now, so Russia now, no, Russia is the most heavily sanctioned nation on earth as at now. Now, so Russia economy grew by about 5%. Since 2021 or 22, you're placing sanction on Russia. Russia economy is now the biggest economy in Europe. Do your own studies. As at now, Russia economy will grow in Germany, will grow in UK, will grow in the whole of EU. Now, so Russia for now, you're sanction. How can you tell me, say, sa country now, almost kona, sebi you, yes, places sanction on them, they are even performing far better than you. Now, we will take Ghana, only any sanction behind. Oh, Chile said, Yenti, I want me, I'm performing because of Russia-Ukraine war. Now, so Russia for they are doing far better. Russia for no, despite the sanctions are US for, almost so, they are performing better than almost every country on earth. How can you tell me this? Ananya make muntiasie. Russia for na enya yentokwa ena yeko. Ena America for se yentiasie. Ena ye de sanction ato Russia for so. Na so Russia for na economy ye de sanction ato almost so no. Omo economy no grew by 5%. It means see Russia crampo that. This is the first time we Ghana Russia economy grew by 5%. Na Ghana to Ghana. And I say, Ekufuado, anybody to Ghana, check Ghana for say, for the past 8 years, the entire economy anko because of Russia-Ukraine war. Now, so go to Ukraine. Our economy crampo is still doing far better than Ghana. Our crampo ye kwa, abibia ye 2 shots, ye bombarded our crampo with bombs. No, their economy is still performing much better than Ghana economy. So how can he come out and tell you, say, Russia-Ukraine war tina or manyade, and we are seeing how high Israel Gaza war near okay now, boah. John Dramani Mahama and Brea, so there was Ebola. I mean, coffee now that will say, and now the trends in global politics and the Amaya freely. John Dramani Mahama and Brea, so there was Ebola. That's Mahama and your home tax. We will crumble the Omaji COVID tax, Ajibibia home tax. John Dramani Mahama embrace why ni Ebola tax. Now say Hunima Mahama, yeah. We saw the performance of John Dramani Mahama. We saw the things John Dramani Mahama did. Man coffee by or Maji Ebola tax, COVID tax, Aji. Just they have taken every money everywhere 11 years now or Maji, betting money. Empo or my dear the pension for taking Naka home. But so lano economy not failing. I'm a Bank of Ghana at the Cabe 60 billion. I'm a Ghana phone now the cabe over 1 trillion Ghana cedis. Omu here. Now a saba bontin as I shall say. Russia Ukraine war on Tina sebi or Kasa or Bois. A born of my bone. A yamemon amontiasie. A chrono no more yaga a yaminia bonne a wood dinner or what dig Ghana phone na. And your Russia Ukraine war be asem. And your COVID na yaka a year COVID-19 the whole world are buying better and making money from COVID more than Ghana buying. Maybe someone now said the whole world are buying better and making money out of COVID more than Ghana buying. More than Ekufuado, more than Jack Toronto any Ninyaki to buying. America for Ghana for 1 billion. Ghana circle back to IMF. Emma Yenyabe 3 billion. Ekufuado J. Abroche for now those days over Ghana $200 on arrival, they pay online before you even come to Ghana. Size scanning now, you miss almost a hefa. Ghana and Tondru, COVID Breso, almost suffer John Dramani Mahama 1.2 billion, and they saw COVID no. Ghana and Tondru, Ghana, Yanya Vasi Adashi. So where did they take all this money? You're making some logical calculation. So no problem. COVID aba. COVID ba, you know. Mofa John Dramani Mahama Esika over $300 million. And they saw COVID or not. America for Ghana be 1 billion. IMF Emma Ghana be 3 billion. Emma Mosaje abroche for the nice cow $200 each person. Bastola Ghana Yantondru. Endro no po Ghana for nya no abrofo no esa de cheyen. Etie bisa Bawumia say says kana mu make out of COVID no e di ade na mode ye because mo Antondru mo entia ya asabia bia. Mo anya foko ye bi so mo say what did they do with all that money? And they were saying audacity as I did not see so check Ghana for say and the NTR for the past 8 years here more brano a Russia Ukraine war and the COVID and Israel Gaza war. Oh boy, a fake Albert Kondia, a fake. Mr. Bawumia is a madman. Yamika Unti. Bawumia is a madman. Bawumia is a crazy man. Bawumia is any compu. Mr. Samo de Ghana Sheba Bawumia, you guys are in for it. Anyway, it's about you. Samo de Ghana Sheba Bawumia, you guys are in for it. Because for the past 8 years, every failure be now mind you say, for bear in field soon, Bawumia has been the chairman of the economic management team for bear almost 8 years in it. What have they been able to do? Mini a Jenny, BBSC, Menyeria Sebuska na me Amantondru. Why must I fail? BBSC, Menya support and Riasimuska na but me so Amantondru Anyashi. So why should I fail? Because of identity. Now Russia for Krampua and Topani te omonaso na say and Tokano esi onaso. Russia for economy grew by 5%. How can you say this to Sabi? You can say this to the fools. And Russia for Grandpa Yakon, Russians were still feeding the whole of Europe with wheat. The Russians were still feeding them with wheat, with natural gas, feeding some African nations with wheat, but Russia was at war. Ukraine for Grandpa, they were shipping their wheat to Europe and to Africa. They were still transacting business. Their economy was still ongoing. Namoti Ghana, munya ntokwa bia, munya sanction bia, abrofono sa aboamo. Namo satna Ghana sa bon. And you have every resource, including lithium. Nani naichi, musa feli, esak saba bontin, eche Ghana for say. Israel Gaza war ni Russia Ukraine war tramu feli ya. Namo ye moa konse ye bomu tukumo. Because Ghana is not placed under any sanctions. You have every liberty. You have all the natural resources, abrofone muani bibia, the aids and grants and everything, including every loan you want. Bro, need the bema. Now still la musa na Ghana e fili. E bro besia be minuya $84 billion egua. Now so sa ba chere Ghana for say waiting about failure and say you guys should be hanged in cold blood. You say mu na kumu kram free Ghana. We are traitors, we are saboteurs, we are nicompus, we are failed people. We need amembo mu nyansa. Ye ben nyansa ye di bu maya mo ni bi e period. We can compromise mo ni bi e period. Na Bawumia yi pa sabi ye tie no. Ase ka Ghana fo ni nyansa Bawumia yi pa ye tie no. Bawumia mo sentie we nso e.
Constructed more infrastructure and implemented more development policies in the Zongo communities than any other government since '92. The Zongo Development Fund has completed over 200 infrastructure projects in Zongo communities.
Bawumia si Zongo Development Fund no omudi asiesie Zongo anameboa. Omudi aya juma within the Zongos anameboa okay. And yes, I yentie yenuanum Zongo for ye why? Yenika yentie me masa menti Zongo. Iti yentie Zongo for na kasa no mu asem why? Yentie what the Zongo people have to say. Muntie Zongo for no.
About obi obetima ye juman ama mining nyina nwan ye han no enye asantini obetima ye muslim ne betima ye we ne betima ye former president Mahama no onye muslim nanso aye bia ma ye pa nipa ya dia wasaye yi me say yo ye nuanu ma na ye papa no na muslim islam som no enye ntum se obema bi behe obi yiri eho enti omuda de seje ko tu nanim se omu pese yeso ye nya ya ankasa ya doctors ne nya ya midwives se dia da ye yiri munyim na omu ko hospital a ombenyo ema na omu ahwe mo His Excellency Mahama ema akonya and the scholarship scheme ebre Zongo girl ema omu ko Cuba ko sua nimdie amampenya be de che His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia e den no wa ya ma ene ye de bekai eno ne toilet and only astroturf. And the Akacha Muslim and then Nanum air can say. A bassa ya baba to a bar. Ea obi obit na ye Juma no said dinukre. And Yama Ghana for any Muslim for any epe. And no bia what the Muslim for any baby vote. No yan vote we are why you pay. About obi na ye Juman ama mining in our wine hand. And yet Asantini betina ye Muslim ne betina ye we ne betina ye. Former President Mahama no anya Muslim. Nanso aye bia ma ye pa. Nipa ya dia wasayeyi me say yo yenuanu ma na ya papa no na Muslim Islam som no enyi ntum se obema bi behwe obi yiri eho enti omo da de se de ko tu nanim se omo pese yeso yenya ya ankasa ya doctors ne enya ya midwives se dia da ya yiri munyim na omo ko hospital a ombenyo ema na omo ahwe mo His Excellency Mahama ema akonya and the scholarship scheme ebre zongo girl ema omo ko Cuba ko sua nimde Aman penya bedeche His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. And then why am I ene ya de bekai. And only toilet, and only astroturf. And the Akacha Muslim and then Nanum air can say. E basa ye ba beto aba. Eya obi obit na ye Juma no said dinukre. And Yama Ghana for any Muslim for any epe. And no bia what the Muslim for any baby vote. No yan vote we are why you pay.
Right. Zongo for na kasano. Aye, zongo for na kasano. I want yana. Minimbre kra na moyen fast. Zongo for na kasano. Zongo for na kasai. Bawumia say wa bua zongo for zongo development fund no dia say zongo for menti zongo. Enu time me play zongo for video dia kire mo no say zongo for na kasano. Omo se Bawumia nya hwe toilet ho asem na wo kan na omo nim. Zongo for na say Bawumia foko ebe na mekan menti zongo for na akasa no ye nuano Muslims ebinom ti zongo na akasa no omusi Bawumia ede na Bawumia ye toilet ho asem na woka kire ye onsi foko entiene bisa Bawumia say zongo development funding no afa hemfa anso ka say John Dramani Mahama mpo a onye zongo ni John Dramani Mahama mpo a onye Muslim ono na otie nkrebofo adesrede etu ho na mode ma ho nanso Mahama nye Muslim Mahama mfiri zongo Bawumia ne o kasa o kire mo say he is from a poor family and my father ne die na nkwada oboa kire mo say he is from a very low family or a Muslim yem say Bawumia say what has he done for you the Muslims John Dramani Mahama nye Muslim nanso mo kasa mo no buton mo say Mahama ne boa mo o man kwada no bi kwa abrochi ko sua Dr. Adwuma ai ne oje nkrabofo awo obi hwe obi eyire adagya so John Dramani Mahama na ewo adwen pa ma zongofo John Dramani Mahama na ewo adwen pa man nkrabofo enye sa nkofo yi me say Bawumia the only thing Bawumia has to brag about is toilet ni ameka wuti foko me say wayanka mehu wayanka wonso nka obehu waya anka obehu. So the only thing Bawumia has to pride about is toilet. Yes, see toilet. Yes, see yani. Yes, see toilet. Asa nothing. Internet say internet say ono che we say wasua Juma efre Kufado ho or ye Kufado mate. Na Kufado nanka sa ono ye driver ni no brabe no abo. Kofi Azuma Kufado na pemu nanka sa Ghana car ni hye nsa no brabe no abo. There be me say ye catch Kufado say every week be ye sales be 200 Ghana. Yama trotro we crab de ye the amount to 4 bro every week be ye sales be 200 Ghana pe. Kufado sales no onye da bia no ba na car no na tie pie engine na pie na everyday excuse. Bawumia so na emeto sikadi na ko Bawumia ho. Bawumia na eboka no ole Bawumia na esa de no. Kane ole first ole no wa boka pam ole na Kufado agina Bawumia de eti Bawumia ka na osua fra Kufado ho internet gifty bisa Bawumia se ne boss na nkasa ka no onim ne sei na campus meta or meta or no su adwuma free ni ho Akufo-Addo boko say ye je the license free the nsem na kan person ni mate. Akufo-Addo mpo ehu ano na kan person ni mate ene be hu ano. Ma me papa utidum me no na ekasa no. Say Akufo-Addo driver ni no mpo ehu ano na kan person ni mate ne be hu ano. Nti say say o ye mate nso a sikase ni na mate wo ne wo. Driver ni there or your focus out car no mate who now handle the money aspect and everything. And until Bawumia is the chairman of the economic management team. There's a Ghana sikase ni na Bawumia na so na see how has he run the nation. And then while running Ghana, I'm a Ghana boka. Over $84 billion. Almost to amena over $500 million. What has he been able to do? Catch them. Time wa John Dramani Mahama yifra bemo. Now inflation $1 to 40 Bawumia buy and $1 to 13 cedis. How has he managed your finances? Or say or your mate ni so Ghana for him say mate ni na sebi sikawa ne ho because mate ni ona ojiska ona man say sane adenti mate ni he na sika no wo ho. Yes, Bawumia is the one managing your money. How has he been able to manage your finances? And a Bank of Ghana boka. Now they say Bawumia now in 2016 and 2000 I think 15 or 16 mubako. And no catch them say why Jumada at the Bank of Ghana the money is there. Oh ba ye sa Bank of Ghana now no watch say the money is there. No aboka now so Mahama breso amoka omunya faso the BC hospital. E de boa Ghana for nyina. But under Bawumia no Bank of Ghana aboka omu say the mua omu say di watem say mu ye hooligans. Now to Ghana say Bawumia na ntwa so na wankasa yare. Now to Ghana say Bawumia na opa wankasa you have a mental problem. Believe you me. Bawumia is rubbish. Bruh, muntie Black Rasta waha before we even continue muntie Black Rasta. Why? Muntie Black Rasta. Muntie no.
My brother, even the dead at Awudomi Cemetery know that Bawumia is a waste product when it comes to economics. He came to us here telling us that he was Adam Smith. Little did we know, after all the consequences, that he was blacksmith. My brother, my sister, Adam Smith all of a sudden has become a blacksmith. It is most shocking and most degrading. My brother, my sister, these were the people who told us that poor people were those who were doing mobile money, and for that matter, economically, it would not make sense to tax anything that was mobile money. All of a sudden, they became chameleons. Under their own watch, they decided to levy taxes on mobile money. And they told us with a new philosophy that if you can transfer 100 Ghana cedis a day, you are rich. You are no longer poor. They think we are idiots. Some of them think that we have no common sense.
Yes. Itimasa, everything Bawumia said doesn't address your problem. The main problems on the ground, so Bawumia couldn't address it. Niana Bawumia can the guitar you so I won't see infrastructure biya. John Dramani Mahama, one for the guitar I'm boosting him. Now so John Dramani Mahama may catch will say, or no na see fiber optic line every northern region about south. But John Dramani Mahama I'm for the guitar I'm boosting him. But Bawumia na will say, or your prince of the guitar or your king of the guitar no oba ye on see any infrastructure. Now so John Dramani Mahama na one friend to the honor. John Dramani Mahama na will see Accra data center. And that's Accra, the guitar center. Mahama is here. Now so Mahama amfa the guitar am boosting him. Mahama amfa the guitar at the campaign. Now so ye can't yet say ye penia or building infrastructure. Ebua the guitar la John Dramani Mahama. Or no na see fiber optic line. Every tamale eba crime. Every kumasiko who John Dramani Mahama. Infie mi ensape. Now so the Bawumia ni speech your man ye about 99% digital. And then the Bawumia is running away from the same economy. Oh no, the pride in the home. So no the economic guru when munyansa eba Ghana economy or tiasie today Bawumia is running from his own shadows. And then you are fat digital the aswa. and onam na baby na digital now so onye foko on see to help the digital revolution. So bibi Samu say a dear na Bawumia ye. What has Bawumia been able to do? Nothing. Or a scam. He's a liar. See, Bawumia is fake. Or you're fake. Or you're liar. Or you're bloody liar. Or you're fake. Let me see. Or you Bawumia is a criminal. Bawumia is a criminal. Even the dead. I would do me crumple him. We say Bawumia is a waste product. Black Rasta. Now to Ghana say Bawumia na udi na chia. Ni friend ya udi sebi. And if rafu him. All of you fall into a ditch. Udi mi ya campo. Bawumia ni ya campo. Afre mumra. Yan shadi wa ha. Bawumia say, as a vice president, I was a driver's mate, but if you vote for me, I will take the driver's seat. Iti eno na me catch them now we say. Oye mate ha, usia free driving ni no ho. Because Ghana ha only few people go to driving school. Be na mate for na church room. Sorry, drivers for na church room. Obi di mate sana or the asua kaka. Iti Bawumia say, we di ekufo do car no ho mate e the asua kaka. Iti munyi ekufa enti say no ekufa do anyi ko pension monfa ka ne hye nsa e na me say yemisa Bawumia say na ayebia uye mate no driving no usua ne sen because omre so car no ye nya fa so bia mfiri so da bia na say e na abri bia na say sales no wen na mo my excuse e na type aye e na engine no boy e na my excuse and ne car na Ghana for na to de share munsa no car no ya boka now see o mate no ko driver ni no ko sorry na yemfa ka ne hye wonsa na ka sebi Ghana for that jimmy ana yenyimi sa se ekufo ado na woni nante ye no wa aboa no ama na mobra bia na bede na wonko abobra because ekufo ado ejina Ghana ha e che Ghana for nyina se ni nim de ne support ni moral ni na free Bawumia ho na eba o se Bawumia na ema na dwen Bawumia na motivate no Bawumia na eboa ni nyansemu na say nyansemu na ye ka ene ye ne this is the results. Intende Bawumia say yema ekufa do nko retirement ni efa ka ne hye nsa na mra na odi mate no driving no usua ne san na driver ni no cramp no bon wa bon cramp nyebini na ka mpese wo mate. It is a mostly efa ka ne hye Bawumia nsa dia. Let me say you guys are in for it. Bawumia cannot do the job. Bawumia cannot be president. He can't lead. It's very simple. Let us not go back and forth about Bawumia cannot lead. It's simple. Bawumia simply cannot lead. Because say I say, or your mate dia, yen shed driver ni na or che ne car kano. Na yen fan judge no. So your mate, what's your car? Everyone oh master so abribia not the car copim, abribia police keys, abribia wakaka be 2 years the accident in Kwabe 100. Right. Driver new electric car for about 2 years if and now they may say 8 years in the American is 8 years. Let me give them their term 8 years in the waka 8 years you know accident in Kwabe 1000. Now say yemfa or no kwa yemfa car nation the maintenance na mate ni ya date na ka sebi one check the nyasa say there be uhun car bi atobu ase eya gbaben eya ko dey say mate no e dey say one Bawumia is empty. Mr. Foko ni America wunti Foko enti so no cho say ne boss no we sua ka na free ne wana say e ne Ghana fo ni say boss no krampo abon chain ni ya ene ho ntia say ene say boss no kana say Bawumia ba the same person na aba no different because omu nyina no we sua ka ne ka free we ho. Okay, yen go to the next one. Bawumia say I have the integrity to fight corruption. Bawumia insists. Bawumia say he has the integrity to fight corruption. On say Osha siya okasano okase our government meaning say near SCBR for the past 7 or 8 years Bawumia has been part of it. Cecilia Dapa ye chene say we are more than $3 million shenim passe Emma Bawumia government no eba bonti defend say omu nimu say sa case no enko baabia ampa so ebesine abena pa onamre baabi case no ankoduru baabia the same government no ena Bawumia saba na osa kire mo say ono de eba corruption a onka ho bi yento aso under the watch of Bawumia under his watch under his watch Ghana boka over $84 billion they can't account for it corruption and amanabasa and at this same Bawumia sa kire mo say the boss na one na born no ko na se mo de Ghana hye nsa ono de eba corruption a onfuaso under their watch and a Martin Emidu omo chada fan say omra special prosecutor na onche akromfo a ewo omu abemu Martin Emidu ya ma ne kwan amana nya adwumenti odedien ni dibrele to ho no ko ne baby ene di kisi ajaben bae na anu ya na the same kisi ajaben ya be ka kire mo say sabi waya ankwa no ma ono nkwa ne nam ode ne crab aforiye oye ni a obetimi bia ne mreso no ko because oche akromfo na Bawumia mo afre se we die ye nkofo ne wo mutija omo kisi ajaben echi akromfo na order from above Bawumia mo afre se there bi chema wontumi die memfa osanka no oye chairman the whole regional chairman ti memfa osanka no Bawumia mo ene ekufuado ena edi sa adwuma no every corruption for the past 8 years Bawumia has been a part of it. That's John Dramani Mahama Breso. Victoria Hammer just got that mindset to say, on your $1 million, obey politics. John Dramani Mahama, it is our seven. We yinedi immediately in less than 48 hours. And Mahama yinedi. But under Bawumia na ocha will say, ono die say muma ne bad driver na corruption die on fuaso Ghana hano ono ne mreso under his watch. Corruption ebinsi Ghana da unprecedented. The same Bawumia na and a coach over $10 million Emma delegate say omonto aba enfama. Now even upon the bribe or bribe wa mo crampo no or say only about 61% of the vote cast. Upon all the bribe, send was in or tam $10 million ma delegates a bribe delegates say primaries no omonto abamano or no or flag bearer. A corruption. The same person is telling you, say, Samotu Abamano Bem and Penia, corruption the Omfuaso. Under the watch, Cathedral, Omusi, already over $500 million. Emma, I saw for Crampo Johnny. I saw for men of God on Point Johnny free. I saw that is, you know. Duncan Williams, Dimbrika, say, there be sick idea where the own TV. Isud anaba edimrika say sika die we die ontimi omu na dwane ko omadi over $500 million cathedral no nko a yetu amna naka omu entimi ensi asodan no na ene Bawumia saba che say sabi yo se moto abadema na corruption die onfuaso under the watch and a Kufuado flow private jet etua €14,000 per hour e dia asem na Bawumia timi ka kire no under the watch and a John Cromeku Fuado onya contract o penti interchange say $25 million. E dia asem na Bawumia to make a the boss. And this same Bawumia na ofwa corruption so no. This same Bawumia na oya more corrupt than Empo the boss no catch will say ono dia so ba corruption dia onfwa so. Under the watch and a Bank of Ghana about over $60 billion corruption here because they are printing money illegally. They are printing money left, right, center. Now this same Bawumia na as I catch them will say on the bar corruption the onfuaso. Under the watch and your tongue at Chimota Forest. And the man say John. And this same Bawumia is actually say ono the eba kronua onfuaso. Eba kronua se Ghana 42 mission in sa onfuaso. Under the watch corruption sika abai we di Ghana baya bokano ebin si Ghana da. This is unprecedented. But this same Bawumia na sa actually say ai se moto abaman be mampania. Yeah, corruption the onfuaso obua. Or no na oye the kingpin of corruption. Eba krono katashishane kankanya Bawumia is the kingpin. Bawumia is the overlord. Bawumia is the king of corruption. The same moment that's about Bawumia corruption will rather go high. It will never come down. Because this man you are seeing here is the leader of corruption. Oh yes. Under the watch, they are running a government, a bloated government of 120 ministers. By Yehuye. Now so we are wasabe ka kire mo say moto about the man na corruption they on fuaso. Now sebi we if he has any integrity they have just about some 11 or 10 months to go. Let him apply that integrity for Ghanaians to see the results. Am I saying because Alan Tremantin Ghana for say the presidency and the vice one ticket. Alan Tremantin ye NPP ni or catch mo say the presidency and the vice presidency a one ticket na ye pe. It means say Ekufuado one Bawumia ye pe. And about Bawumia so shall see our kasa or chere say our government. Eba bibiki to ebia o ma ye dia na o jiafa. Eba felu adia na o de so Ekufuado or say our government meaning say every failure be oka ho. The same way every toilet be anso a almost be anso oka ho. Na say no sorry sir be just simple so ka chere say ai on the oba corruption the on fuaso a oboa under the watch a married deal meaning akosi saying bamtimu cheska die Bawumia was aware bamtimu cheska die PDS omu cheska ni die Bawumia was aware akosi saying under the watch and as our chrono when na akoso and then this same person is telling you say on there's a motto about the manner the same tactics now. The same thing Ekufuado dada mu say ono de ye wo no ohu hia da into oba o wia musika the same tactics and Bawumia so use so now so say Bawumia ba obewia musika mpo ache Ekufuado believe you me say Bawumia ba obewia musika mpo ache ne boss Ekufuado because Bawumia e kromfo everything Ekufuado has stolen Bawumia is aware and Bawumia has been part of it because say our government did this our government did that. Meaning say every failure, every chronobia, Bawumia has been a part of it. Ti me tell say mo Ekufuado kona say Bawumia to aso the same person. Ni ameka unti. Se Ekufuado kona say Bawumia to me say the same person. Bawumia wa bonje Ekufuado. Bawumia me say oya kromfo che Ekufuado. Ye mi sa Bawumia say e die enti na Martin emidu. Ede ni di breto ho yemisa the same Bawumia na bia mu se edi enti ena kisia jaben all thing is so say adwuma ontime nye because moma the kwan ma nye their government which Bawumia is part of it. Se Bawumia saba dada mu se moto about the manner or no dey obey different from eye the boss Ekufuado a oboa me say dey oboa yanto aso. Okay. The next one, Bawumia say, I will eliminate VAT on electricity by 2025 if it's still on our books. What is that? Bawumia no di Ekufuado atem because everything Bawumia is saying, it is the opposite of what they have done. Let's say when Bawumia chemu say, only Ekufuado omo jimi omo nimu nyansa. Say omo di VAT tax ebesen Ghana for komu. It was say mo man the boss Jimmy no ko na so no ba. Sa de na the boss ni ye nyansa bia nim na on de oba obeye free ho. O di the boss Ekufuado atem say Ekufuado Jimmy ni sebi onimu nyansa. Now so Ekufuado NPP aban achemu na say Bawumia is their backbone. Bawumia is their advisor. Bawumia is their pillar. Bawumia is their everything. Into any taxi beer or my buying dia baby no Bawumia is the pillar of it. Bawumia is the inventor and Bawumia is the initiator because sika semono Bawumia sem the wo. For the past 8 years, musika semono Bawumia sem the wo to every monetary aspect in piano is the brainchild of Bawumia. Bawumia's initiative, it is Bawumia who gave birth to it. Bawumia ni Ekufuado the trans say yemfa VAT and say Ghana for komu. And then the Bawumia will say anko yama or muntin or distante ne ho akyere mu say ne boss Ekufuado Jimmy say odi VAT bra munti no say ne boss no kona say ono ba VAT na ne boss the buy obe ye free ho. This is a criminal by all standards. Bawumia is a criminal by all standards. Me say Bawumia is a nikompu. Bawumia eba adwemi nyansa edibu maya onibi. Bawumia has no respect for empo the boss no. Ona say the boss and the check the car can't yemfa car nation in San. Bawumia has no regard for the boss no. Bawumia who the boss is with Jimmy. Bawumia who the boss says sebi you. Na dream nyejuma. Say wa re ho. And or the VAT say Ghana for go VAT no so the same Bawumia na the buy chire Kufuado say ya the VAT ma Ghana for na say now mind you say and Bawumia so and the Kufuado got na Peace FM ka chire mo say yet sika so now so come the because Bawumia chire say why adwuma da at the Bank of Ghana the money is there. It is the same Bawumia na no and I say to the boss for say the way our economy no esia air kwa yenhu so no yemfa VAT ento power so na yemfa sen Ghana for ko mu. Now so ye buy for bare 8 years ni dum so yetimi solve ye. We have not been able to add them a single megawatt of power to the national grid. But ye pe hu skedi because our gas planter John Dramani Mahama is here and the NPP are buying yesa hon kwan. So the same thing. Dum so no so John Dramani Mahama is solving and the yanum na yesa hon kwan. It yemfa a whole VAT and sent now so these guys have no clue as to how we generate power to support the people. These guys have no clue. These guys have no blueprint as to how we generate power, enough power to serve the people. But they are bringing taxes to you. Say muntia hoto. Na Bawumia say say mo pam the boss. Say mo pam the boss now. Sebi you. Where Jimmy ya oni mu nyansa no ko na say mo di to mission in sa ondo ba. Sa VAT na the boss the bremon obe ye free ho. Where di the boss atem edi onu ankasa na ban na tem. Say onne Kufuado aban omo Jimmy. Omo ni mu nyansa. This is what Bawumia is saying. We say Bawumia is a nikompoop. Bawumia cannot lead. Bawumia cannot serve. Bawumia cannot be your president. Take it from me. We are Ghana be it on TV, on social media. Take this from me. Say Bawumia cannot lead. He can't do it. Yante Ghana and Bawumia Trump say he doesn't believe in taxing mobile money. Now so Anchebian was say try you tell. SRD mobile money taxes ebe same ko. I nemo tia. The same Bawumia na the SRD VAT buy. The same Bawumia na such was oba obetwam. Na so di Bawumia chia. Wadwemu na ha. Na nipa na ono de na de buy no. Obede twem. Obetwam akọ de abremo. Obetwam dia they have about 1 year more to go. Omu twem ansa na obakọ. So betwam a omu twem ansa na obakọ. They say Bawumia is a criminal. Bawumia is a hardened criminal. Yanko to the next one. Yampeke the key points no. Key points be I'll make here when a speech no na. Yen throw more light on it. Yankai win. So I say my administration will work to reduce the cost of public transport between 30 to 40% with the adoption of electric vehicles for public transportation. Bawumia de count. Bawumia de can say oba kra cars are use petrol. Cars are use air diesel. Those cars will be used. Those cars will be using electricity. Na crack those cars in ebeboa ama public transport akoform. Now so bisa Bawumia say obaye power sen and all the akanya John Dramani Mahama e de ma ye no so. Ye bisa Bawumia sa question we pe. Say John Dramani Mahama ekra power badges SOV dum so obaye power badge ben na motinya kra. E dia so John Dramani Mahama e dia no so. And I do so no sabao, but these guys are quiet. Now we are wasaka che will say on the car back Ghana na saka no, they are going to use power, electricity. Wow, but damn. You say Bawumia is crazy. Mami see Bawumia is a madman. Nipa na onim kwan kra ye fasoa ye generative power no e ka che will say obekra power cars. Saka no e use petrol, diesel debi. Ebe use electric. Now so by ye onim kwan kra ye fa so ye solve dum so on by almost 8 years in John Mahama e yusu mfie miensa de solve dum so on by ye mfie wotwe nie omo fa bi nka ho Now so the same person sa catch us oba obeyi sa petrol car na free ho and the electric car sa Ghana. He said the Bawumia is now Elon Musk. He said the Nidian kasa ye Mahamudu Elon Musk Bawumia so oba or the Tesla forecast in Ghana. Tesla in Ghana. And use petrol, it will use power. The same person, Emma say the same Bawumia now walk away you. And a chair will say within the first 4 years, almost the sky trader back Ghana cra. And as our sky train, Adani 1829 locomotive train. And I am deba. The same Bawumia now the catcher will say within the first 18 months of their presidency, Accra become the most clean city. On by almost 8 years in the and crime center is it here. Internet. The same Bawumia na search will say oba krasa aka so dia ba Ghana. Na so tie Bawumia na what menua what dream na ha. Oh yeah, na what dream na ha. The same Bawumia kroya original central region e ka che for the phone na say obesi airport any harbor dia mam obai almost 8 years ni port no wetimi asia na the answer is no. The same Bawumia na and the surge na Ghana in January 2023 e ka che say a school phone nyina say by the close of 2023, every student will have a tablet and I said laptop. 2023, this is 2024. Sa tablet na oka hwasem no monsaka na. The answer is no. That's this same person. As I be just simple to chira say, se moto ba de ba na oba obekra kasa e use power de aba Ghana na so odi na chia. Na wan kasam nam say, what dream mo ha? What dream mo ha? What dream we e mo ha? Because Sakasi no eba Ghana the infrastructure any sebi enyinam ahodi Ghana for war. Eno na John Dramani Mahama emro ba ya adum so mu ye den. John Mahama ekra pa badges e de so dum so Bawumia ne boss ba ye 8 years ni omon kra foku. Ama e de dum so no saba. E de Sakas no kra be dru Ghana pa be na Sakas be use. And say Sakas no po e be dru Ghana power ben e na Sakas no e be use. Because on by 8 years in they haven't been able to add a single power to the national grid. Omo tell say John Dramani Mahama Samra omra me so bi dum so no biem na omo hia omo say gina ho asa kire say ye embrese buy no won say dum so bi aba mo say there bi mo say na e be de na odi me I compare John Dramani Mahama but Gofui in their track record there's nowhere in Ghana NPP are buying asobi dum so nowhere in Ghana. Other NDC in 2016-15 thereabout. NDC ne so be do so before leaving power. Ya number me say me Twitch will say John Mahama aircraft power badges ba Ghana na sa power badges not na e so be do so. Iti say what ye change say there be Bawumia na ye ya me bisa say e kwan person na Bawumia fire or so be do so. Omon craft power badges via ma Ghana. Omon craft foko. But he's here telling you, say, I me ba me crack cars be free. Abrocha ba sa cars no e yusu petrol. E yusu power antino eno be boa ama transport cost na conform. Oboa onte da. Me say Bawumia boa onte da sinu who. Me say sinu who. Because sianimu onim nia o kampu. Jimmy we me say wa bodam Bawumia is a madman. All right, to the next one. Bawumia say, my ministers and deputies will not exceed 50. Bawumia. Or say, after say, Omo are running a government of 120 ministers. So, Bawumia, on any boss, Ekufuado, are running government of 120 ministers. Eno crampono, eno crampono, 120 ministers, no. Ome huye huano. Na Bawumia sa che say on the oba obete so every 120 about 50 na so ogini di ha odi watem ye penipa obetimi a kire Ghana for say on say we na no owie free Mahama ho because Mahama che say oba the ministers no embro 60 e ho na Bawumia ye quick and owie free Mahama ho now so Mahama kasa odi kan because first 4 years a Mahama nya ye no now the ministers are below 80. And I say 80. It is John Dramani Mahama. 8 me you 80 ministers. And the Rane Ghana I say Mahama Chow say obetimi at swaba 60 ya. Mahama has every right to say that. Now this same Bawumia now minia Oba yusu eye be 120 HL say on be more than half. Arane Ghana na se wugini dia na se wankasa no wadwe wo fom. Because Oba rane Ghana with 120 ye huso na 50 ne be ye den. Niama Johnson. The same Abaina use 120 ministers. E dia rane Ghana for na aboka no. Or chere say oba use 50 per less than half of it. That's what you need dia. Now what dream wo ha? What dream ha? What dream wo ha? Mahama na edi kan ye. And Odimrika me say these guys have no idea. Copy nkwa. They copy from Mahama. They copy everything. And Otimenka mo say Ekufuado ni made this speech or copy ye. Every American company for the same thing. And a John Dramani Mahama 24-hour economy Dimrika area. And then the Bawumia can never talk without making mention of 24 hours. These guys have no idea. They always copy from John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. They are always copying from the NDC. They have no idea. They lack ideas. Into way Mahama na edi kaka anwase and with Dimrika and we for say I miss me ba may use a 50 or boa he can't because or say Osia can they can't if ni boss or ni boss also use 120. Bawumia or say or no where the mate Ekufuado car no which is Ghana with Ekufuado being the driver. Now the boss no use 120 ministers na or no mate no of Fuaso. Now the same mate na Sabacha will say Sabotu about the man na oba use 50 per e dia rane Ghana na sa ogini dia na me say wadwimu na ha wadwimu na ha ontimi oboa owia free Mahama ho with no clue. Because the only thing they want is power. Also, Mahama can't say bia or you're careful because Mahama no asembia or bekan he means it. Because he wants to come to Ghana or become your president and deliver. Do something for you to say yes. Don't Dramani Mahama. Me buy no. Me na me yes way. Yet to me na Mahama pe so ba o siesie Ghana e ma Ghana fo sampa say Mahama oye o si ade yo oye o si ade yo o si a oyo Bawumia ene ne boss there. The only thing they want is power. Until they can lie to you anyhow. They can tell you any bullshit just to get power, which they know they can't. Oba niya okay we oni perfect oba onti me now so okay because I didn't hear niya all party to me asa it ends there. Adi all party to me. Well, bottom. Bawumia say Bawumia is crazy. Yeah, go to the next one. Bawumia say E-levy will be abolished if I'm voted into power. Bawumia say E-levy na ono ade abano. Because mind you say Bawumia was instrumental in the in the creation of E-levy. Eti Bawumia say E-levy na ono ade abano. Say Musa to abana so ba obetwam. Because or say our government E-levy na eba ina Bawumia can be nearby. Now read this. This is from John Boadu. John Boadu can say Bawumia fully supports E-levy. This was in 2022. John Boadu na can say same way. Say Bawumia fully supports E-levy. Now say E-levy no Bawumia mpo na etna say draw ye. Bawumia na etu ne boss Ekufuado for say there be ye hwena sesika no ye dia say no omane say ya yemfa E-levy nsen Ghana for komu na ye nchechire mu nche Ghana for say E-levy nkoa na ebetimi asobe Ghana for ina problem. That is why they were chanting E-levy. Omo chere say E-levy no yensem ne wo to yen to me no yensem ne wo mu ye den mu po ye the E-levy ne ba NDC can never ever tell us anything. And omo di E-levy brem wo omo chere say E-levy no eno na ebe sobe Ghana for how you na omba almost 8 years ni E-levy no ye nya so mfaso bia e sa chere say oba se mo say yi ne boss free ho e ma ne ba obey E-levy na free ho. Bawumia say E-levy na ono ade ba ye no se mo sa ma no 4 more years a na obetwam ayi afri ho na se wodi Bawumia chi a na me say wadwem na ye ha na so tie Bawumia you are sick in your head with no apology. You are sick, clearly you are sick because Ghana ni bia di ho a onimu nyansa obeti Bawumia sa wodi 11 abrayen na se wodi Akufo-Addo atem se Akufo-Addo na oye president odi ni signature eto so se oni Bawumia ka wo ho abom e di 11 abremo no Akufo-Addo wagini onim nyansa so odi 11 bremo Bawumia say Akufo-Addo is a fool for agreeing to honor Bawumia chede say 11 seba ebeboa Ghana for no Bawumia chede mo say Akufo-Addo was a fool to have listened to him Bawumia because 11 was Bawumia's idea. 11 the implementation everything was Bawumia's idea. Intene Bawumia chede mo say Akufo-Addo was a fool to have listened to honor Bawumia. There's a moment of 4 more years 11 na ono ade ba ye no obetwam. That's what the Bawumia chia. Na me nua sister brother, what dream na ha? What dream na ha? What dream na ha? Say owo 11 bia yi dia. Mon kan che Bawumia say he is still in power. 11 on twam ansa no akọ. Because clearly Ghanaians will never ever give this guy a chance. It is a whole to me bia. Yen kan che Bawumia say any 11 on twam ansa no akọ. Because 4 years now will be sadonya. 4 years now will be sanonya it 11 or pa on twem and san okọ because 4 years they onya Ghana for nyimi sao. Ghanaians now are intelligent. Say yet means na Ghana ha for you to bring us 11. Ye kan ho asem kan mo nti na so wi a wasa kire say yen sama 4 more years na 11 ubetwem. O ka se Ghana for junior Ghana for nyamoa. Sanse mpo Bawumia ken e was Ghana for to baditia Bawumia because this thing is an insult to Ghanaians. Sanse bia Bawumia ken we di Ghana for nyina atem say Ghana for nyina agini say he can play with your minds anyhow he wants. He can lie to you and deceive you anyhow he wants because onimu say madwumu ha say at the end of the day no Ghana for bi no be sa to abade ama no. It was say 11 mo kan ho asem kan wenti e chere mo say the 11 was coming to solve all your problem and uti na NDC for kutia no. Or de bre mo how many years ni munya so faso aka ne be 1 year obetimi atwem wo se wo ntwem de ebom say mo sama ne 4 more years a eno betwem. That's why Ghana ni na so di Bawumia chia na wo nkasa be say wadwe mu na ha Bawumia is an incompetent buffoon a bodam. Understand something. Say Bawumia cannot lead. Bawumia cannot be your. Bawumia can never ever govern. Bawumia can never ever be your president. Because obi or normal kan ya wenti or the 11 be say mukom and the said the matem and the boss Akufo-Addo atem say we Jimmy. Say ono Bawumia kan 11 hu asem no Akufo-Addo de na dwema no. Because he has been the chairman of the economic management team. You know, every economic idea Biano has been the brainchild of Bawumia. Now so the 11 ba now say 11 no omo discarding na awie ye hu so obia wasa chew say aka ni 1 year on twem now so musa to abade ma no na so nya 4 more years a eno betwem na say mutie na me say madwe mu na ha ya make I won't ase ho. All right, Afi Yensamra. The next one. Bawumia say, there will be no emission levy under my administration. Nese, Radi Jacopo. Radi, Abai pa na Felisi. Radi. Hey! If we say, me who abaya Felisi and Kofi Abaida. Emission tax, you know. Bawumia ne Akufo-Addo atena sia dwe ho say ye de brag Ghana for no e de Bawumia chere mo say ne boss Jimmy Akufo-Addo ye kwase ampani. It's whatever Bawumia is saying or chere mo say for the past 8 years they have failed. Because the man failure. Why are you promising Ghanaians say about policies are more tena say policy more tena say e draft ye de brag Ghana for ba you are going to undo everything. It say na me chere say Akufo-Addo aban afeli. That's a wa ohwe me udi matemu na wagini because ensemu Bawumia ken or chere mo say for the past 8 years policy bia on the ba ye bia was a Jimmy for policy. They say osanya 4 more years he's going to undo every policy that they brought because anya adwuma ama Ghana faili ama Ghana aboka na so wi a wasaka ache wo say Ekufuado na ache ne kaka because for the past 8 years he has been the mate. This guy keeps contradicting himself. Bawumia, he keeps contradicting himself. Ojia, no asache mo say for the past 8 years, he has been the mate of Ghana Ghana or Timua. Ekufuado has been the driver. Na Ekufuado na ache ne kaka. Na so we are was ache say every policy bia ono de ba ya Ekufuado ene ne ya adwen bia oba obetwam because they never ever made sense. That's what Ghana chere say. Obeto abade ba Bawumia. Na me hu nia me kan chere. Because or chere say every policy bia ono de ba ya de bu Ekufuado bia oba obetwam because they never ever made sense. Ama Ghana conform, ama Ghana faili, ama Ghana aboka, ama empo Bank of Ghana aboka over 60 billion cedis. Over 60 billion Ghana Bank of Ghana aboka. Na se mo de 2 million in sa me every policy bi o de ba ya Ekufuado de na dweji ye bia obetwam. Or more than. Nana ya Bawumia or more than. Or say you're checking our dream. Bawumia no say you're checking our dream. Because clearly Bibia say Bawumia is not right. Bawumia is sick in the mind. Bawumia wa bodam. Bawumia na dwen say onim nyansa, onim ne oka. Onim nya oka. Say Vivian, we are me boss. Me ne what na say. Me na me too for. And you drafted all the policies. Na me ria, masaba bonten, atre Ghana for na say, oh Vivian, what faili? Me ne wa ban no ya faili. Enti se Ghana for the 2 million me nkwa me nsa. Policy a me no me enu tina sia, ye drafted ye ma Ghana for anya adwuma me twam. Na me ria, masa che Ghana for say, me wa different idea bia eno na esa be boa ama Ghana for tumpon. Na say Vivian, me no me enu, and I say Ghana for ne me, and I say Ghana for di mechia. Na Ghana for na abodam na asa me na magini. Bawumia ontimi nye. Se mo de Ghana she Bawumia sa, you guys are leaving Ghana in the hands of a failure who can do nothing for you. He can do nothing to secure the future of this country. It's a madman. Now who are you? Ask yourself, Bawumia ngasa na dwe adwuma na because he talks like a madman, like somebody with no background, like somebody with no atom of sense. He love you na de baye. Momo tax ni adi na wo na de baye. Na wo hia wasa kire Ghana for say oba wo kro na no wo be say atwam. O mo damo a onyimi ya. Sabra na mo san hwa de. This was a monkey Kaiwi. Or say, I will abolish e-levy as president. Bawumia na eka sa asemu yo. Yen shas ye ho. And upon Kwadwo Pon Kroma chire say, Bawumia was instrumental in drafting e-levy tax. This was on April 14th, 2022. Kwadwo Pon Kroma chire Ghana for na say, Bawumia was instrumental in drafting e-levy tax. Ni awopa chire na ne say Bawumia e-levy a embra Ghana for so na Bawumia na esini na so. Nyansa ni na Bawumia trimu na efri ba ye. E-levy na yeka was the brainchild of Bawumia. E-levy na yeka was the idea of Bawumia. Na omo de bana se efili wi a. The same Bawumia na sa ba chemu se wan pa chewo. Asa chemu se mo jiminti mo santo abana ono santo na so ba ne 4 years no obenya no obetwa e-levy mo. Na se mutie Bawumia na me say madwimu na ha. John Boadu so chere say Bawumia is in full support of e-levy. This was said by John Boadu enie. Asianimu. Ne kwa sianimu. Abodam. We me to me boasi o. Next time me to me boasi na se bana se ojima na me di watem. Sara me tie me share to me boasi church nsemu si na se wan tia se na se next time bana se ojimi me di watem. Bawumia is a mad man. Yeah, he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's mad. All right. Yeah, go to the next one. Bawumia say taxes on gambling will be scrapped under my administration. Let's say in simple terms, no Bawumia no or Trevor say or ne Ekufuado for the past 8 years. Jimmy. They say they are all stupid. Because Bawumia plans to undo everything the boss Akufo-Addo did. And I said Bawumia plans to undo everything he did. Because he has been part of the government. Or shall say Akasano or Chere Ghana for say our government. Our government. Our government. And I want it, Brother T. This was the first speech about Myanmar. Why? The first sentence about Myanmar during his speech. He said, our government.
I will first talk about the record of our government and my contribution as Vice President.
I will first talk about the record of our government and my contribution as Vice President. And what was his contribution? His contribution was he was the chairman of the economic management team, which was the brain behind all these policies. 88 levy Bawumia policy. Gambling taxes Bawumia policy. VAT VAT Bawumia everything monetary Bawumia policy. Na se Bawumia say we sa kire mo say anya adwumanti onya 4 more years a obetwamu a na se mudi Bawumia chi na monya mo a Mania, every policy bia sikasem bia eba ye bia no was the brainchild of the economic management team. Omo na manage Ghana economy no. Enti VAT na eba no. Emission tax, gambling taxes, every tax bia was the brainchild of Bawumia. Na so we was actually say aka the 1 year ultimate fan twem na ebo magiminti mo sama the 4 more years. Na sa 4 more years na obenyan ehọ na menua onu akasa be yusu ni nyansa de atwam na se mudi Bawumia chia na mo akasa na mo yem ho na mo akasa no madwi mo ha because bibi a kire bibi adi adanse say Bawumia is clueless, Bawumia has no clue, Bawumia is a madman, he is mentally deranged, Bawumia is mentally sick. Wabodam adwena say enye adwuma onim nia o kan, he is mad. Bawumia is mad. Ye ni agro bia ha me tumbo me say next time me bana say one times na be di watem na be di watem sabra na me san chiro we na say he is trying to undo everything na oni Akufo-Addo ye because Bawumia ni Akufo-Addo kire say revision and expansion of taxes on gambling revenues. Bawumia na ede idea ne ba ye na Akufo-Addo supporting no because Akufo-Addo or the Ghana share Bawumia nsa or the economy of Ghana minua yesika assembly bibia share Bawumia nsa ene de Bawumia che say ondo oba gambling tax na one Akufo-Addo de ba ye no oba obetwam. Secondly, Bawumia che mo say removal of selected VAT exemptions including 50% VAT on power. No VAT on power. We na Bawumia wa bodam. We kra me nche ho kra ha me ho kra. Wa bodam. It is our speech na Bawumia ma he no. E was say Ghana for gina sa speech no so e de to abaditi Bawumia. Because speech na Bawumia presentation no e kire say oye clueless. Onim nia oye oba onim no obeye. Because everything Bawumia said does not address the issues on the grounds. Galam say Bawumia nka ho asem. Water problem Bawumia nka ho asem. Dumso problem no Bawumia wanka ho asem. Unemployment amundi adwuma mo bre edi asem na Bawumia ka fa ho. Ibisamo. Uti jom ton kruma ni ade adegeta no. Ekwan be so na ebesi afade aboa wo. Degeta no muni adwuma muni ska. Cashless economy no cash no puni ho na less no free hin na eba. It me say Bawumia is a non-entity. He lacks the idea. He can't do it. Listen to me carefully. Bawumia cannot do it. Onti mi wabon. Or you failure. Or you're incompetent. Bawumia is raving mad. Abodam. Ade yanwa ni say na me. Brana tie. Now listen to this one. Bawumia say the data shows that the economy is recovering from the crisis we are facing. Data ben. Nese we crab no say Bawumia ka we ya nese Bawumia or jatu mu say for the past 8 years no abiding koyi or jatu say economy no amemo because amemo ni koyi there will be no need for you to say the data shows that the economy is recovering from the crisis we are facing. Crisis ben are you facing? Yeah, check Ghana for say economy in koye. Who the same person check Ghana was say, oh, boy, me this for Ghana economy in koye, and then you this same person is actually Ghana for say Ghana is now there recovering from the crisis that we find ourselves in. What crisis is Bawumia talking about? Well, for the past 8 years, yes, some way now Bawumia is sitting there insulting and say, oh, Fioko, these are NDC bloggers, Janda bi no mu play on economy no, koye, mache $1 no. IGP and then this same Bawumia as I will say the economy is on a path of recovery. That's the what to say for the past 8 years economy now nkoyi men can the same beam na sabi what you say we enyame na make Bawumia na say for the past 8 years economy no ankoyi eti ankoyi na so ne Ekufuado na around the economy ne dia and the mini atiase say Ekufuado court na se Bawumia ba e finito. You guys are done. You guys are done. Afi Sabra. Yeah, go to the next one. Na Kofuo kra minim de ha no. This man should be dead by now. And then what train? I have a strong feeling that Bawumia is the man of the movement and Ghana must accept him. This man is a madman. Kofuo has a dementia. Kofuo no not drink yet. Kofuo baby Kofuo nyedri. Kofuo wa bodamawi. Kofuo wa bodamawi. Kofuo so also Kofuo bodamansano one pounds wa bodam. Kofuo ni awokan wonim ni awokan. Kofuo te Ghana ha 2020 ye boni pa watchi to Kofuo anka ho asem we kosem yi ni hu che na nkohwe from say ba say jimika say ya Kofuo kan ko say mo yi ni hu che na nko ohwe from say ba mo di ni ti bodan mo ko say mo di ni ti Kofuo ti e bodan mo na ko to an yire baby an yire ko bia ko so to ano wa bodan. Kofuo is a madman now onwe Kofuo na dwe no asai enya djuma biem. Say Kofuo kire mu say Bawumia is the competent person to lead Ghana na Bawumia no is a destiny destiny. Today Kofuo believe in destiny. And a Freemason and I tell say Bawumia no is a destiny man in Tinmon to abana Bawumia to this same Kofuo. The same Kofuo is a one kasa breso 8 years na onya. What did you do na nipa ono tio Mame to be was grab na make away. Nipa onori mreso. Dum so ba ya. Osuma so for say. Omonko akosobo enkobo mpaye the same person che say eye Bawumia na ye ntimo nto abana Bawumia mra. The same person. Kofuo onche wiase. Kofuo dey say I can't break a crab into Kofuo crab de ye falling to nche. We onche wiase. I can't break a crab no onche wiase. Nemre say na aka Kofuo bewu eto Ghana nia wote Ghana obre wotena Ghana ma Kofuo jimi ni we dada wa na sabi wa dwen ye adwuma because Kofuo is dying we wawie no de nam ho no ne yire we nche bi oba enche bi ono so ko we nche bia Kofuo wo nya the next 10 years me nam ka kira wo Kofuo wo nya the next 10 years biological anya biabo o nya the next 10 years eti wa o ye youth na ye wo future no so wotena Ghana ma Kofuo dada wa na wo da wo ye ho na me ka be kira na wo ye ho because Kofuo we yes kana gu ho dia ma na busuafo ene oni wa na yire sorry ne ma omombre obu na obia wo ne sika bidi me no mienu na ye bre and Bawumia na Kufuado nti ene wotena Ghana je o Kofuo se mo nto aba na Bawumia nto aso na so tie Kofuo na nya wo na wo ye ho wo no ajimie because Kofuo ne de okọ we aka ne na say Kofuo aka ne na say wo wawie no de nam ho wo wawie ene ya mo ne diapers Kofuo na we wan hye pampesa obani ago ne ho Kofuo na we ya mo ne diaper obani ago ne ho ntimi no mie no asabe se ti afika ya nia ye ti se toilet die no ye no se ye ma ya dwene ye adwuma Kofuo nte Kofuo toilet ka na onte onigu ne ho onigu diapers no wa wuawie no de nam ho no na ye ntena Ghana ye ma Kofuo a wa wuawie no enkyere ye nipa kura ye nto aba enfama no are ya bodam Say, me no me enu toilet kan wa what say yes Charlie adene demi. Ye nwi na ye tena Ghana makofo na tie fika na ontie no. E na enche yen se otampo a onim so ata. E na enche yen se yentu aba e ma hwan Bawumia. Na Bawumia no 8 years ni de no aye. Onfa nche yen. Na Ghana fo nyina so fa nto aba mfama no. 8 years ni de na Bawumia nche Ghana fo e nyakofo na be ka Bawumia na nche Ghana fo nia wa ye nti a Ghana fo sa nto aba mfama no. Nyakofo bi asem. Kofo de we twem or ye expired we the last days no na emu we biologically. We nye diabo we men fa no personal biologically Kofo is a dead man. Let us not argue about this. Biologically Kofo is a dead man. Why anymore we are hypocrites. Obi adim say Kofo is a dead man. Now tiasi wu ni we encho di pakura to abanfa no. Ati tiasi wu we e encho di pakura to aba efama no. Anaze to aba ma no. Ada ye Jimmy ana. Wo ye youth Mwadwe no nya adwuma dachi ne ye wo dia enya Kofo dia wo wawie no de nam ho no enti Kofo kra dia fa ne to baby kra ne movie on we ye dipa we okasa we bia wo dia dri we ojo otampo a wonte so ata otan oto so say akosia na dia de ne bon hasa no onim ade krokre bon watan kra ne ta ne bon onim se onim se yo no na atan yi eda no bobo na obisa ne house up say ade asenia ya anahwa say bia ayi ekura na sa ponchani bi wu nhye ho a na onim se ono ana ata Kofo ta onim so ata na we mra be kire o say to aba fama Bawumia na we na dementia ni we na nche ni pakura to aba fama no dementia ni we forget Kofo kra ni movie wo wu awie Kofo can survive the next 10 years obewu eti ento aso the last one. Bawumia say, I'll abolish e-levy, betting taxes and emissions and whatever if I become president. Well, put them. E-levy now on one day, I say, Mukomuno, once I need I'm going to also be chem. Me say, Bawumia is crazy. Bawumia is crazy. Well, put them. Oh, yeah. Isaac, Bawumia is a madman. Bawumia is a joker. He's a comedian. Bawumia is Mr. Bean. Or Mr. Bean. One bottom. He's a comedian. This guy's a comic figure. Believe you me. Bawumia is a comic figure or a comica. He's a crazy man. He's dead on arrival. Bawumia. Now Bawumia po eba assemblyman kra. Ghanaians should not vote for him. Now come as a president. Bawumia even doesn't qualify to be an assemblyman. Bawumia, he doesn't qualify. Assemblyman kra Bawumia doesn't qualify. Na campus a presidency ade ya boda musa ye nyimi sa say yentena Ghana 8 years ni Bawumia say kuri na oria wasabe dra simpie so aka degeta na ye kro na asato santene esa de tumi ahye nsa ye boda musa Bawumia doesn't even qualify to become assemblyman na campus a presidency. He's a madman. Oh yeah, he's a madman. He's sick. He's sick. Bawumia, oh, but damn. Oh, yeah, one but damn. Shakai. He left in a betting one now. On one of the buyer, on the check Kufado said, this is the way out. A Kufado friend Bawumia said, Bawumia, Charlie. The way Ghana economy ne kwane dia jack. Ghana for ne complain you. Bawumia, can be share me. A dear yenye. Minim so dear, a bad economy, I wouldn't nyansen na me make you the chairman of the economic management team. Eti Bawumia, tell me something. What must we do to save this economy? And Bawumia can say, oh boss, in fact, me cry my dream home power. In fact, just a hammy power because we can never ever break the 8. 8, you know. A dream many say. Yemfa eye betting tax mra. On say the Ghana youth be na to betting me kan say bra. Be na twa bet pa, be na twa bet. Inti yemfa betting tax mra na Ghana for na Ghana for youth na omo doso na omo twa betting ni ade no. Yenye to on the betting that they win. Sika na omo twa bet, yes anye to say sika no so. Ekufado say Bawumia, we are smart. Enu say me Judy no Bawumia. Me say Mahamudu na me vice and me Jimmy. Bawumia we are smart. Betting usika wo mpa mi nimpa. Yen this cannot be all. Bawumia say eko. Secondly, also in fact, boss, Ghana has a wash bibia. Ghana for ni jebe cars ho pa. Ye ta crackers akese ba Ghana. Azaka akese we nya tia to prum we see aye pro no. Any trotro we see ni ade na e doso point ye nche Ghana for say e wiase no global warming bi ba. Nti ye nye taxes on eye saa emissions saa we see na e free cars mobile ye nye ho to. Ekufa do say hey Bawumia Bawumia we ye shege ha Bawumia what dream would do na sa dream ekra mo nya ne was ah boss pa na de woni mia na me ne wa ne nam ah tell me me can be a choice me de e ba economy mu adwin mu ah e ba economy adwin obi anti me ma ko brocha ko sua de na boss as ampa Bawumia be Judy we see no doso ya ne ho to na ye fan save economy no. Number 3 was a boss afel so enyina ma hoden na Ghana for use mu ah ye betimi de VAT atoso afel so mobile money no ye fast can to so e go for the say Bawumia o se de momo no o se ya boss Ghana for Oscar ah ebinom abroche for money wo mo obo kra ni be say so kwa ni mobile money so a obe 2000 da so of just da so kwa na Jimmy no di Jimmy na bet no di twa e go for the say Bawumia what you would do? Say nyansa we Bawumia unya de he ka kire me. O se ya boss pa na se no tira me no na mo no. E o tampa opa de me say man fa pa say bra be me vice anka me say ka me di me ho awu. Bawumia nyansa sempa no aka no. Eti bet ni ade na make sure say bibia tax akọ unya Bawumia tikoli. And I dey say Bawumia e kire wo say sa di ba di na oba obetwam. Now so me say ti ase say Bawumia these are the brainchild the ideas of Bawumia. Bawumia na ede baye ene kufuado ede ne stamp si so draw ne wa wa kan na Bawumia dwen ego ze Bawumia de obu a me se Bawumia ni nyansa ekufuado ani mu asem enkomo no mu di ye Bawumia na wo krabu de che say the whole Ghana eba economy you are the most brilliant na Bawumia say oh yeah oh boss thank you Bawumia do know something say me kwa kwasi ampani kana di be na dwen say oba be prakonwa no wonim say in 2016 na me ne alanchemantin e prayer and alanchemantin yes say wo there bi wo there yeah because me na me pani ti me no me ni kan me nko na say me wi a aba ni sesi a no ni bibi alanchemantin ya na dwen say me kwa ono na edru ne so na so sa dwen ni nyansa ya odi ama me ya odi COVID-19 ni ade ina ba Bawumia say me fra ba mu a me make sure say you become the flag bearer. Me ma ho kwan ma Kennedy ana say alanchemantin onya da. I'll make sure say ubedi madie. Say me kwa Bawumia wa na oba. Iti Bawumia obey me and be a very good boy. Okay, Bawumia say, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, yes, boss. Thank you, sir. Every idea, adwin bia Bawumia na ede baye. Ene kufuado ode ne stamp si so. Nti se Bawumia kire wo se oba sa ni ma we nyina obetwamu a odi mu na matem se mudi mu nyansa wadi Ghana fo nyina atem se Ghana fo nyina agini eno na me kire wo se menua mentina ha e ma Bawumia di Ghana fo nyina atem ti Ghana fo the only way we can respond to that thing na Bawumia di is to vote against him because say ye to abadi tia Bawumia ya kire Bawumia se o ka se agimi na so ye nyimi ye na emom se ekoto abana Bawumia to aso a ebe confirm say Bawumia na odi matem say wa jimi no eno krese mo jimi because wonyimi ya ka obi nya emfie wotwe fan say Ghana enfanfa all the taxes me say ko mu amonya so fa so bia na so wi a wasabe kire mo say mo ma no 4 more years na sa 4 years no onya obegi sa ni mani na afri ho na se mutie Bawumia na say ateni na Bawumia di mu se mo jimi no be confirm say ampa Bawumia was right. Ba minim se Ghana fo nyimi minim se mo amutie mi na wonya kwasiafo etie nyina ye nto abantia Bawumia na enyuma pa na enyuma pa John Dramani Mahama isha ase no Mahama is sabe to so na Ghana timi tumpo because Mahama ma we are dead Bawumia na wo hwe ensem Bawumia kan yi na so de Bawumia compare Mahama na wankasa no you are mad se na anu ya Wednesday ya nia Bawumia kan yi na se mo de Bawumia compare John Dramani Mahama Ah, me nua wo de waka no kre. Eric, wo de waka no kre. Wo de waka no kre. Ah, Eric, you can't compare wo de waka no kre, me nua. Sir, utie Bawumia pa na so de Bawumia compare Mahama. Eric, wo de waka no kre. Why nim nyansa? Wonim nya make me nua jai. Wonim nya make say no kre. Eric, yen ka no kre nche. Wonim nya make. Say Bawumia ni mu nyansa, Eric. You are aware, you know this fact. Ema yen yes sir, Eric. Yen ka no kre nche Ghana for Eric. Empuntu na ye pre. Empuntu na Eric ye pre. So the Bawumia pa utie ni nsem ya okan ya. O use be 2 hours at the church in Mahama 24-hour economy mu. How can you compare Bawumia to Mahama? It me make sure say Bawumia nko na Mahama nsa meto aso a minim neti America ne sa because minim say ma we Bawumia ma we na dwen ma we ni nyansa na minim say Bawumia onim nyansa sa o because ni nyansa bi obia na odi agbo akufo ado no and you guys have seen the results. Ghana boka over 1 trillion what they call US dollars in one ebe 84 billion American dollars on by almost a cheap compound ba kompo. Believe you me, on by almost see cheap compound ba kompo. I saw that cry almost shas yes these same people na tell say on machine nyamebo say sebi on basi I saw that dia man I saw that you put charges adan yagu e discover $500 million am land here to say Mahama na embra mesi na sa ban we moto the mana na sebi Bawumia di matem say mo jimia Bawumia is right to insult all of you. Inti yen kan okrenche ye ho na yen kan okrenche jimi fo. Me da mo ina mase. Wo she many kra, many I read pa oh. But I still have to come and explain issues before they die out of the system. And you know, mami fa muzie ya na yen correct. Me da mo ina mase. Tanya ma medasi bebre watch it so medasi watch it medasi bebre and Jordan alone medasi bebre Daniel main council medasi why thank you so much for your support. Eric so why are there poverty at least there be over beti nyasa se medasi bebre keep coming Eric medasi Moses ajekum jemfi medasi bebre thank you so much. And Kofi Azuma, Charlie Kofi, Bra Kofi, Medasi, why Medasi pa. Modos, meet me mobia, the Medamuna Masi. Mechagana for ina mo share on Lao Silence TV, Mechawina, Medamuna Masi, thank you. Next time, maybe a phone line, so any day, my cover 2 hours into the Yakwana rest. Next time, when maybe a phone line, my mom support me, Abaso. Abacha Madrid. Gifty, agree, Medasi, Sister Gifty. I'm BSc men sounds Medasi, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Work on Facebook, your page is near me, you know, a Freemind family and a Freemind family news. So call YouTube on so a Freemind family and a Freemind family news me the backup. Work on TikTok on so a Freemind family. Vivian upon so me that's be brave. Madam Telma and the court so me that's thank you guys so much for your love and support. I'll see you guys tomorrow same time 3 p.m. Ghana time. Nyame adomwa ibeshia china. Until then, me had here about 8:39 p.m. It's good evening from me from here in Nairobi to all of you wherever you are. It's good evening from me from here in Nairobi. Mediani Chairman Freemind. You can call me Chairman Freemind. Then again, yes, also website. Your website, you know, www.freemindfamily.org. And you know, and your org, and your org. org. It's emotion also na I'm quite your site when I'm reading articles I bring a bribia ye go hono. I'm a doc Habib Medasi Bebre Kofi Azuma, thank you. Yes, to Kopa Moja, we are together. That's Swahili, meaning we are all one, we are all together. Medasi Bebre Kofi Azuma, thank you for learning my language, which is Swahili. Why Medasi Bebre? And they make us Swahili, me say me a Swahili ni. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. Ghana time. Today, have a nice time. Take good care of yourself and don't allow Bawumia to throw dust into your faces to insult you constantly on daily basis. Micha, Lao Silence Media Team Nina Kevin Taylor for putting us on Lao Silence TV. Have a nice time and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Mahama left a mess. We came and repaired your mess. Before I left office, the IMF said that Ghana's economy was going to grow by 8%. And it grew by 8% and more in 2017. And in 2018, it dropped. When their own policies started kicking in, you look at the GDP growth rate. From the high of 8% that they inherited from me, the next year it went to 6 point something, 5 point something, until when COVID hit, it went to 0. So that myth about you left us a mess, you left us a mess. When you came into office, the Kufuor Eurobond was left with 270 million to pay. Where did you get that money to pay? Mahama left it in the sinking fund because I knew that debt was coming up. That was visionary because I knew that if a new government came, it was going to be difficult to find 270 million at once to pay off the Kufuor Eurobond. So we left it in the sinking fund. They came and met it. In October, they just took it and paid the Eurobond. And after that, they didn't put any money in the sinking fund again. That's why when COVID hit, we had no money to defend ourselves. I set up the stabilization fund. When COVID hit, they didn't know where to find money. We told them, go and look in the stabilization fund. I left money in there. Went and took 300 million, from the stabilization fund. I set up the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund. The Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. And I put $270 million seed money in that fund. Today, that's what you are using to build your Agenda 111 hospitals. So how can I have left you a mess? They are good at propaganda. And so they just keep repeating something. Oh, we came and met your mess. We came and met your mess. In 2016, for the first time in Ghana's history, we ran the government budget without taking one CD from the Bank of Ghana. Zero borrowing from Central Bank. You in 2021, 42 billion, you made Central Bank print for you. The following year, 2022, 35 billion, you made Central Bank print for you. And that is why today, Central Bank is broke. Because it made a loss of more than 60 billion cedis. When I was president, Central Bank made a profit of more than 1 billion cedis. And so that propaganda must stop once and for all. You didn't inherit a mess. You inherited an economy that was doing well. It is you, by your mismanagement, your clueless finance minister, and your clueless head of economic management team, who now wants to run away from economic issues to become the champion of digitalization